Oh boy, yeah.
Oh dear.
Almost getting us banned.
This is why we don't. This is why we don't let Walter out of the house. We let him. He lives in a shack in the back.
And I got my pink shirt on, man. I gotta put my pink shirt on, baby.
Pink shirt. Okay. All right. Listen. So while everyone's getting set up here, I believe that we're live. And while we're waiting for you guys to let us know if the audio's feeding through, hold on a second. My audio might get better right now because I completely forgot to do this. Let's see here. I didn't turn my proper microphone. What are you doing?
Stop. Sounds like you're sharpening something.
Okay,
Exactly.
let's see. Can you guys hear me good? Hopefully you can. All right, so before we jump into all this, make sure you guys go to hankstrange.com, sign up for our email list. We've got all kinds of links and things on there. Search through the menu. It's going to be fun. Lola's working on that all the time. Please go there. You can definitely find all the ways to support us on there, as well as go to Ballistic Ink and go into the Hank Strange store that you will find on Ballistic Ink and support us by getting our t-shirts. We've got awesome t-shirts there, one of which we're going to have a conversation about here in a second. So that's pretty much it. Smash those thumbs ups out there. Big shout out to Walther Arms for sponsoring the podcast here. We really do appreciate that. Let me press the button to do the open. Let's see. Is the open gonna? It didn't go for some reason. Come on, let's see if we can get it. No, the opening don't want to go. I don't know what the deal is.
This is a disaster.
Let me try this. Let me see if this does it. There we go.
Welcome back to the
Hey,
Hank
that's
Strange
better.
situation.
All right,
Lifestyle
make sure
of
you
the lost and
subscribe,
loaded.
smash those thumbs ups, ring the bell so you can be notified every time we go live. Come on, let's see jazz hands, guys. Let's see jazz hands out there. Woo, there we go, jazz. They're doing nice jazz hands.
Jazz bayonets.
Absolutely. I hope you got your big girl panties on. This is episode 594 of the Who Moved My Freedom podcast. It's FreeForAll Monday. FreeForAll Monday. We got Walther, not Walther.
Walther.
That's the arms.
Not Walther.
Yeah. See, I'm going to get tongue twisted on that one. Walter from Safety Harbor Firearms is here, joining us, as well as Babyface P. There they go. They're here. You guys are here. It's FreeForAll Monday. Don't forget to smash those thumbs ups as you guys are coming in here. It's going to be a crazy show. I can tell you that right now. Crazy, crazy show. Shout out to everyone out there. What's up?
It's not going to be crazy. We're just going to rant for 2 hours because of all the insanity that went on over the weekend.
All you have to do is
Heads-up aggressions.
observe what's going on in our, and I won't say the world because it's not the world, in the United States of America.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, and some of it's going on in other parts of the world too. Copycat stuff paid by Soros. But, you know, it's mostly here.
Yeah. So we will get into that and a whole bunch of other stuff here. First of all, let's check up on these guys here. Let's see what's going on with them. Babyface, what's up with you? How was your weekend?
It was good. We unfortunately, I didn't get another AK video done because we were too busy working around the house. So we pressure washed the front. We finished the back deck. We pressure washed the driveway. We pressure washed the front stoop and cleaned all the front door up because it had bugs and cobwebs. Washed the car. Like it was a busy
I'm glad you're getting good at this because I've got some work over at the hacienda for you.
Listen, 75 an hour, and I'm gonna need coolers full of ice cold beer.
I will give
and
you
water.
20 bullets an hour.
That might coming soon. That might not be a bad deal.
20-50 cal bullets an hour.
No, Walter. No.
Yeah.
Don't even try.
I get to choose the caliber, right?
No, I don't think so.
So because of that, no AK video today. I did get a video on the Marlin Model 38 that I finished a while back, which was still really cool. It's still a neat gun. It just I know everybody's looking for AK. So next week.
Okay, so there will be. So there were no videos that went up, but there will be, is what you're saying.
No. There was one that went up this morning. It's just not AK related. It was the Marlin video went up this morning.
Marlin. Okay, cool. All right. I didn't get a chance to catch that one yet, but I will catch up on it by tomorrow. Shout out to CloverTac. I see CloverTac out there, as well as a whole bunch of people. If anyone needs shout outs, let us know. We'll try to get to those. There is a bunch of stuff going on here. Walter, what was up with you? How was your weekend, Kimosabi? Hold on a second. My psychic powers are saying at some point you went to Hooters.
I did not go King Wasabi.
Oh man, then that worked.
It was brought to me.
Really?
That's even better.
Did Melissa deliver some Hooters over there?
I
hope
can
so.
deliver my house.
My youngest Spencer, sent me a
Spence.
text saying, "Hey, you want to go to Hooters?" And I was like, my dad was in town, so we were messing with some stuff, one of his projects at the shop, and I said, "Well, why don't is everybody getting takeout?" Meaning, are they bringing food home? And the answer was yes. So I said, "I want I want some boneless wings, and my dad wants a hamburger." Boom. So,
okay.
What else we go? Like I said, my dad was in town Saturday. We were messing with one of his projects. Yeah, we made a step forward and we made a step back. One of those kind of projects. You know how that is, Babyface?
Yep. That sounds just like my weekend.
You know, the engine. We're working on this engine that he has, and the fuel pump wasn't working. So I got a fuel pump, a replacement one. Well, the replacement one didn't work. So we went to Plan B on that and replaced it with a vacuum-powered pump. And that works like a frickin' oil well in Texas, squirting gas out. But then once we hooked it up to carburetor, the engine didn't run right because I think my dad's got the timing wrong with the camshaft inside. So yeah, so we're gonna have to take it apart and fix that. So
yeah.
And then I also posted that picture. I sent that picture to you. I think I melted down all my scrap lead.
I saw that.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I ended up with about 30 pounds of.
Yeah, so bullets are forthcoming.
And I have a stash of lead at home also, too.
Right.
I probably have 40 or 50 pounds down in the garage that have just been sitting for a couple years.
Yeah.
Little muffins. They're muffin shaped because that's what I had to pour them in.
Chris that works for me had the little lead dies.
Nice.
1 pound and half-pound ingots. So while I was pouring that lead, I was having visions of gold.
Yeah.
Wow.
When I got into lead smelting, lead reloading, I went as cheap as possible, and I got like the cheapest lead pot, and then I just went to like a used store, like what's the place where you go? Goodwill, like a Goodwill, and picked up some muffin trays, and I filled the muffin trays. It worked perfect.
Yeah, no, we used I have electric little melter. But this time around, I used like a gas burner.
Yep.
It was a cut-off propane tank that my dad was scrapping, and it works perfect for melting lead in. So
nice.
Because I had stuff that was nasty that had, it was fished out of the bullet trap, so it had a mixture of oil and all kinds of stuff. So when you first start cooking, a lot of smoke come off and everything.
I mean, I was going to ask you if you were wearing a mask. I hope.
I wasn't wearing a mask. We just stayed out of the smoke and stuff.
He was inhaling it. He was over top.
Yeah,
I was huffing it. Yeah,
it's good for your lungs. It helps fight the coronavirus.
No, it's not. It helps it by killing you. And then they will label it as a coronavirus.
Oh yeah, they might leave
not lead poisoning.
I had the fans blowing the stuff outward away from us. So I didn't make a point to get into
all
it.
Jokes aside, lead is a serious thing. By the way, shout outs to the D wipes which we got from Barnauls. Which we use D wipes.
We used D wipes before I had D sandwich, and all I tasted on my sandwich was D wipes.
Yeah.
And we manscape around here.
Not together there, okay?
We could do a group manscaping one of these days if you guys
back
want.
to back, they skip in a line and shave each other's backs.
Well, I don't have any hair on my back. So.
I know, mine's pretty good too.
Walter. He's speechless. He's speechless. You can't even hear him.
Manscaping right here. You sharpen it up real good, then you just.
Don't do it. Don't do it. But listen, lead is a serious thing. Please take precautions with that. I know my friend Dimitri is still not doing well with with the issues that he has in regards to lead. So be careful. Can you hear us, Walt?
Yeah, I can now.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. It's funny too because when I was a child, my grandfather, who was I would call an antiquer. After he retired, all he did was like antiques up in Illinois. He gave me a set of I still have them too, lead soldier molds.
Oh, those are cool.
And a little lead melting pot thing, a small one, and they could pour your own. We were melting lead with kids and doing all that stuff. Yeah, so that's what happened to me. But
So this is the reason for the heavy belligerence. Oh boy. I just have this flashback to what is it? Nothing But Trouble. I think that's the name of the movie, Nothing But Trouble, where there were the movie that had it was like in Vulcanvania in this place in Pennsylvania, you know, with the speed traps and all that kind of stuff, and there were these two little babies that were kind of like mutated little babies. I think it's called Nothing But Trouble. You gotta look that up. We won't get into it now.
Okay.
We'll get lost. We'll go down a rabbit hole.
Yeah, that rabbit.
Just look up Nothing But Trouble. I'll try to pull up the pictures of the babies I'm talking about here, and we'll show them to Walter. He'll get a kick out of that. Flying Rich gave us $2. He says, Hooters delivers now? Please.
No, you gotta. Well, you probably could get it delivered to one of those, you know, Uber food service kind of things.
Probably.
Uber Eats or something.
Yeah.
But
I mean, there's a side of town you can go to, and just there's Hooters all over the place. You just, you know, pay your money.
Yeah.
And pick up a venereal.
I don't know about that.
One in 10 might be a cop. You don't know.
Yeah. Don't
I don't
eat
live
where you
close to
get
Nebraska
nasty like that. Don't. First of all, don't get
Don't
nasty
eat.
like that. Second of all, don't eat that.
First off, don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let me see. What did I do? So we don't know the rest of the weekend.
You're still going on the weekend, are you?
Well, that was just Saturday. Come on, man.
Okay. Fine.
Sunday, I went over the shop for a while. I fired up that 2-cycle engine I've been working on, the Lawn Boy engine.
Mm-hmm.
And then I sold something of my dad's over there. A guy on Facebook Marketplace. He came, picked it up, got that out of my hair, and then I went home and relaxed. I got out of the heat, man. It was freaking hot.
Yeah, it was a hot one. For me, if anyone wants to know, it was my older son's birthday on Friday. That's why one of the reasons why we took some time off. So big shout out to him. Happy birthday to him. I will share a photo with you guys. I threw this up on social media. So that was Thursday. Was his birthday Thursday?
It was Thursday, yeah.
Yeah, his birthday was Thursday. I forgot about it already. So here you go. Here's a picture of all of us here. So that is Angst Strange on the left. That's really his name, Angst, by the way. And then there's Lola, the really short one. And then between Lola and myself, that's Falcon Strange, also really his name. And then the handsome guy's me. So there you guys go.
Luckily, Lola was involved because that's where we got their looks from. That's
Did they get to pick their actual real names?
No, they were babies. No, they didn't get to pick them.
Angst.
Angst and Falcon. Falcon Strange kind of sounds like a comic book hero. Yeah.
They have cool names. If I told you all their names, then you would see it all kind of like goes together. But it's pretty.
Is that when you're a moment of hate? You so big. That's one of the names or what?
Angst.
No.
That's where there's like teen angst. If you ever heard of teen angst, but yeah. So all my sons have names that have something to do with black. So there you go. That's just a clue. And plus they have they have weird names. Like those names came from characters of stories that I wrote. So that
Falcon sounds like something from Adult Swim.
Yeah, they also all have birds. They have birds in there. I kind of named them all like blackbirds, to be honest with you. So they, there's a little creativity, a little creativity. It's better than Tonquanisha or something like that.
Oh God, don't start on that stuff. Get me going. Oh, I don't know where they get. Some of these folks name their poor children these names.
Well, I refuse to name my kids something that I would not know how to spell my own self.
And the people who
really
pick those names don't know how to spell them either.
Really, really important. Listen, Randy Peacock says, Hank, that's all. I'll let you know last Friday, the 26th, was my birthday, and I turned 62. So, happy birthday, belatedly, to Randy Peacock. Shout out to him. Let's see. Lots of people in the chat saying how they bought guns.
I saw that.
How they bought guns?
They just bought, a lot of guns got bought.
People got guns over the weekend, I guess.
Yeah, congratulations. I saw some AKs, someone got a really nice AK that I saw in there. I would have to scroll way back to see who that was.
That?
Yeah, AKs, ARs got bought.
Just don't. This is not a real good time to. Well, can I tell you a gun selling story, real quick?
Sure. Absolutely.
And nothing. And I wasn't even selling a gun.
Mm-hmm.
I have a box, a Kel-Tec P32 that's my gun I drop in my pocket, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have the box for it. You get a gun like that, it goes in your pocket. It never goes back in the box.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so the box just sits around. So I just for fun, I said, let me put it on Facebook Marketplace and sell the box.
Okay.
Can't do that.
Oh, you can't do that. And the reason why? Because that's the way people sell guns, right?
Yeah,
They just sell the box. There's just a box.
Well,
it's code. It's code.
Even if you say in the ad, which I did, this is the box.
Just the box.
$10, the box. Oh man, my phone lit up like bing, 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 bing.
You got banned.
What else you got? What else you got? What else you got? What is it? How much for the gun? How much? Ba-doom. And I'm like, you know what I did finally? I just said, fuck
Never
it.
mind.
Big
Took
mistake.
it off.
Yeah, that's for garage sales, Walt.
That's for Knob Creek.
Yeah. That's for garage sales. Jay Loafers gave us $5 here. He says, the boys all look like young Hank, and I love my new AR. So Jay Loafers also got an AR. And Bruce Ludemann says, I want to buy a gun, but don't know what to get. Not a good time to get shotguns, I heard.
Old.
Oh, yeah,
old.
well.
Find something antique.
If you're gonna, well, yeah, I was the other day looking for Remington shotguns, 870s, plain old Remingtons with wood stocks. Nobody's got none.
Really? Even the police trade-ins and whatnot? They're all gone?
Well, I'm gonna be doing something. I'm gonna doing something for the Border Patrol. So,
cool.
Yeah. You're building. He's building the wall. He's building the wall, one brick at a time.
One shotgun shell at a time. It's
no,
just going to be a wall of lead.
Yeah.
They want some of those small little shotguns. So.
Listen, you know what, Walter? The next time you talk to those Border Patrol guys, can you just pitch them my idea for Border Control?
Which one? Zombies or
zombie
alligators?
Zombie actors.
Yeah. Then they'll have to have union cards, and then they'll have to have caterers and everything.
Yeah, I
else.
was gonna say does guild action
Then you won't have enough black zombies, and you won't have enough Hispanic zombies, and you won't have enough whatever.
13% black zombies. We gotta fill in for the meet the quota.
No, you never have enough black zombies. I guarantee you it'll be some. Well, who knows? Who knows?
A brick never complains.
Yeah. Let's see. There's a whole bunch of things here. Applebite says Lola must have fallen asleep when Hank named them. Nope, Lola picked all of those from my stories. So there you go. Let's see here. We'll get into it one of these days. We'll get into the whole naming thing. And I think that Flying Rich is trying to ask me what would I have named my daughter. I'll tell you guys, since I don't have, well, I at least won't have a daughter from Lola, but maybe in the future, get a little frisky, I'll get a little daughter somewhere. I was going to name my daughter Blue Mango. This is way before Jay-Z, by the way.
Blue Mango.
Yeah, it's way before. Jay-Z stole my idea.
That should be the name of a nightclub. Like, if you went to South Beach and you had a nightclub, that would be a good name.
That's the name of a gay nightclub.
Maybe a gay nightclub in South Beach, but not a child.
No.
Yeah, but I don't think my daughter would have minded that. She would have been bothered by that. Yeah.
Blue.
I like Blue. I like that name, Blue. Isn't that what Jay-Z and Beyonce named their daughter? Yeah, Blue Ivy. They named their daughter Blue Ivy. So there you go. But this was ask Lola. I'm not making that up right now. I had that like 20 years ago, and I'm pretty sure they stole that from me. I must have like bumped into Jay-Z at a club or something like that back in my hip hop days, and he totally. I never actually met Jay-Z ever. So let's see.
Can I tell the chat about something going on that they can check out if they want to?
And Lola says, Okay, go ahead, Walter. Lola says, get a daughter from somewhere, ? Really?
Get a daughter from somewhere?
I reserve the right to always in the future have babies. I'm just saying. You know, I always
you can borrow a baby
babies.
for a while, cuddle it, laugh with it, make it smile, and say, "Okay, nice. Okay, time to go back."
Really, DCG44 says bird guns are relatively available, but home defense is impossible to find.
Yeah, if you're trying to find anything with a shorter barrel, forget about it.
Yeah.
I guess I should be glad I didn't get rid of my what's the name of the shotgun I have? That the military shotgun. M4, the Benelli M4.
You have a Benelli.
Well,
if you sell that Benelli and you don't actually tell me about that, you will
Listen, I had gotten fired, and Marley was in school, and I was getting real scared that I wasn't going to make my payments on the house. So
you sell the gun then? You sell the fucking gun.
I considered selling it.
Yeah, but only in this circle right here.
You can't sell it for half the normal price either.
No.
So.
No, I ended up getting rid of, during that time period, I got rid of I made some good money. I had bought a 2245, and I paid like 150 for it, and sold it for like 400.
Yeah,
so
and you sold my Keltec.
I had to get, that was one of the ones that went too. Yep, I had to get rid of the Keltec.
You sold my RFB, which I only rented to you.
Well, listen, I can pay you the rent back tomorrow. And then I'll let you know
Tuesday
if you let me have it today.
Yeah.
I'm just teasing. But basically, whenever I sell Babyface guns, I'm only renting them. I'm taking the money, but technically those are still my guns.
Well, we know who has it. I'd love to get it back. Honestly, if Gabe ever ended up selling it, I would love to buy it back.
Yeah, that was a nice gun, man. That was a nice gun.
I know. I want it back at some point. I should ask him if he would consider selling it.
No. I don't think. Oh, go ahead and ask him. I don't think you'll say so. Walter, did you have something that you wanted to drop on us here? Flying Rich gave us $2. He says just 3D printed AR9 like I did. Just 3D printed. So there you go.
I mean, I'm glad. Rich called me the other day asking about buffers and AR 9mm AR buffers and weights and stuff because he was having some. He was running with too light a buffer, and I told him he needs to go as heavy as he can get.
Yeah, Rich has been running too light a buffer probably since birth.
Well,
just throwing this out there, the Spikes Tactical one that's like 9.3 ounces or whatever, really, really heavy, works really well.
Yeah, you want to slow that bolt down as much as you can. So.
Oh, especially on a printed lower. The worst, I was saying this the other day, the worst printed lower you can do would be a direct blowback, because of all that force slapping against the back.
Slapping that, yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, he found out about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to mention to folks that
go ahead.
We have a laser from Laser Marking Technologies.
Oh, right.
Yes.
And they're having a competition, and Copper Customs is in it. West Coast Choppers. The guys from American Choppers are in it because they have a Laser Marking Technologies laser. Well, we're all got some axes, and we marked the axes, and they're.
So where can we find this picture that you're showing?
This is on Instagram under Laser Mark Tech, which is Laser Marking Technologies IG account.
Laser Mark Tech, all one word.
All one word. Yep.
Okay. Here, I'll throw it up on the screen for the people who want to see it here. So Laser Mark Tech, I'll follow them myself. So do we have to go there and vote for you, Walt? How does this work?
Well, I can't say who I am or what number I am, but because that's why they just have numbers by it, or it would be just a popularity contest. But there's some pretty talented people in the competition.
Can you tell us what your number is in Walter bucks?
Nope.
I got distracted. I went to Instagram and got distracted.
I bet you did. Was she from Israel?
Hold on. We're not showing you yet. Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, I got distracted on Instagram. That's all you need to know about. I'm talking about the fish, of course. You see the fish.
She's got a fish, too, all right.
There's a fish. Okay, Laser Marking Technologies.
Laser Mark Tech. So people have to go there and vote. And
Copper Customs has got an entry in it, which is MAC, Military Arms Channel. The guys, American Choppers.
These are some really cool.
Oh
axes.
yeah, there's some really talented folks. I mean,
holy crap!
Not that we're not, but we're not.
I'm sorry, but that Valhalla one or whatever with the number 6, Jesus.
But yeah, there's some really people.
Yeah, there's some good things in there. I don't even know which one it is. I'll have to find out from Walter later, and then we'll figure. We don't want to cheat or anything.
Then you'll hire some TikTok people and hire the TikTok Chi-Coms, and I'll have 3 million votes. Is that what it is?
Yeah. Oh, just blink how many times, Walter.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
No. Okay.
I'm not gonna do that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Okay, so there's a contest going on, Laser Mark Tech.
And you can win things. You can win things. People voting can win things.
Okay, never mind. I'm going back to a round now. When you say free, it's for me.
Yeah.
Right.
So play with that, folks, and check it out.
Yeah.
I
Brian Quick says, what does that even mean? What is Brian Quick? I don't know what you're talking about. What does that even mean? So he says, what does that even mean, Hank? I don't know what that is. Let me know specifically, because we said a bunch of crazy stuff, and we didn't even get started on what we're supposed to talk about yet. So I think we might as well jump in. We might as well jump in here. And I'm gonna jump into this conversation by showing you guys a meme, which I basically shared with Babyface and Patrick here, and I will throw it up on the screen for you guys.
Babyface and Patrick?
Oh, I mean Babyface and Walter.
Double.
Sorry.
I got it double shared.
Yeah, you got double call out.
Yeah. So here we go. I'm gonna show my meme first, and then we'll talk about this news. Boom. So for the people listening, it's Get Off My Lawn. It has our character Tactical Fat that we invented over here, and it has the I don't know what these people are being called right now, but this is the St. Louis couple that was out on their lawn.
What we call Americans. That's what
Yeah,
I got a good story that goes along.
We're gonna get into this conversation right now. Hey, let me pull up this. Let me pull up the news. This is all over the internet. This is all over the internet. Trump reposted things, and everybody's fighting about it right now. So I figure this is a good time for us to have this conversation. St. Louis couple defend their home when protesters enter private neighborhood. And they're showing these guys. The husband, for everyone listening on audio, has, first of all...
He's straight out of 1985.
Yeah, he's got on a pink shirt. Book, members only.
Not the book, like the year.
Yeah,
he's straight out of Miami Vice.
Yeah, he's got on a pink polo shirt, and he's got an AR.
Tucked into his, like, nice trousers.
Yeah, it looks kind of retro.
Yeah. An AR that hasn't been upgraded since 1980.
Right. The wife looks... Is that a Walther?
I think it was... It looks like one, but I'm not sure. I couldn't get a close enough picture.
Yeah, she's got some kind of stainless pistol, and she's got her finger on the trigger.
It looks like a PPK.
Yeah, so let me read this real quick here, and then everyone we'll let everyone get their piece of this here. Yesterday, about 300 protesters opened the gate and entered a private neighborhood in St. Louis Central West End area. The protesters were reportedly headed to St. Louis Mayor Lida Crusen's home to demand her resignation. There was some whole stuff that went down, and people are mad at her, relative to everything that's happening in the country right now. The owners of one of the properties the protesters passed, given recent rioting and burning that has grown out of protests in St. Louis and around the country, were concerned about the marchers and what their intentions might be. Both homeowners armed themselves and stood outside in order to defend their home. And then there's video here that you guys could see. Let me see. I'll try to play this. I don't know if it's going to play any audio through to you guys. Maybe it won't play. No, it can't be played. So there you go. I'm sure you've all seen this footage. Here's the gate, which they forced through. I don't think it's forced through here at this point. This picture of the gate, but we'll go back to this. All right,
that was all private property.
All private property on a private road.
They were trespassing the whole time. So
on a private road.
It's game on.
Who were walking by.
Game on, my friend.
I love that the protesters were like, "Oh my God, there were people pointing guns at protesters." And it was like, you're walking on their private property. It's a private road. You can't go there. You don't go there.
No.
So a funny offshoot of this last night, because I got into it. It hit the internet news. I'd say about 7 o'clock, maybe 8 o'clock. Mm-hmm. So I was on 4chan, and 4chan was just going nuts talking about it. And this one Twitter user decided to post, "Hey, let's dox these people. Let's ruin their careers. Let's ruin their businesses. Blah blah blah." So the internet decided to get their just desserts and doxed the Twitter user, and he now has closed off all of his accounts. His account is private. His websites are closed. You can't go there. So you be careful what you ask for.
And by the way, they're out. Their names is out there because I know I have an article with them. Let's see. I think this is a Fox News article here that we could show. What to know about Portland? Portland Place, where St. Louis couple pointed guns at protesters. and it's got their name in
It
this
doesn't
article.
take
I don't know if I'll get
all you gotta
into
do
it,
is
but,
go in the county
it's
records
not,
thing,
yeah,
and
it's
you
not
can
difficult to find their name.
get
I will-
anybody's name. It's
No,
not.
it's
It's not
not
a big deal.
So it says they live in a private street in St. Louis Historic District. Why is this disc? Oh, I hate these ads that pop up. Okay, let's see if we can get rid of that. Okay, come on. Okay, they live in a private street in St. Louis's historic district lined with $1 million homes. Demonstrators were on their way to protest at the home of the mayor. It goes into that whole thing, and it shows, here's some, like, I guess they've got
the gate
pictures
is
of
closed.
the area
not
and these
showing it.
guys with the guns.
It should read that the protesters destroyed a gate to get on the private property.
Yeah.
Not that they were going.
So now in this video, okay, let me. Obviously, we've got multiple things that we want to talk about here. Walter, do you want to just angle your camera down a little bit? You're in the middle of the screen, so I know you're looking at. There you go. Bring it down. There,
You can't quite see. Never mind.
there you go. All right. So there's a whole bunch of different things going on here. First of all, I want to say on my part, I 100% understand where they're coming from, right? I think they said they were having lunch or something like that. They heard all this noise. This is private property. This whole area, this whole community is private property, which these guys broke through the gate. They heard all this noise. They didn't know it could be the start of the apocalypse going on. They get their guns. They go outside. I think they have the right to defend their home, their property, etc. What I would say is there's some very I wish they would get some training. They're supposed to be lawyers and obviously people that have the wherewithal to do that. They're definitely missing out on some training here. So for example, the wife has her hand on the trigger while she, of this gun.
She's ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, she's ready to rock and roll while she's standing behind him. So
what? One thing I'm going to say real quick.
Mm-hmm.
The 2A community does not know how to. Immediately, they eat each other alive. They don't have any training. They're this. They're that. They're this. They're that. It's like, hello. 99.9% of Americans don't have any training.
Yeah,
I would rather have 99% of Americans have guns than have 1,000 with training.
Okay.
Thank you. Boom.
All right. Listen.
When you talk about training, a lot of people talk about training. They mean like going and getting trained, not take your finger off the trigger training. They just you got to go to a class,
Okay.
shoot. And
Listen, Walter, I think that, first of all, I think in the case of these two people, most gun people are probably on their side, which is what the first thing I said. But I think there's some things that could go badly wrong for them here. I mean, I was looking at this video. She could have very easily shot her husband in the back of the head, the thing she was doing with that gun. Okay?
Well.
So, I mean, you all of these kinds of things you have to think about. I'm not trying to tell anyone to go out there and become a tactical ninja, become a Navy SEAL or anything like that, but there's some stuff that you might want to think about these things before you get into things. There's pictures of her going directly and pointing that gun at the protesters. Okay. So I mean, hey,
they got the point.
Yeah. Okay.
They got the point, my friend.
Don't get on my property.
Right.
And if you don't want a gun pointed at you, don't come on my property.
Don't get the fuck on my property.
Yeah, I'll tell you something.
There's too many videos out there of people getting beat the fuck out of themselves, minding their own business, and that's bullshit. Sorry, done, over, done. And when I see somebody getting beat up, I think automatically pull a gun out, start shoot every one of the.
We're gonna quick tangent, but did you see that guy he was one of the people that was trying to protect a monument like 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, Antifa went after him and were beating on him. He pulled a gun and shot one of them and put him in the hospital. They arrested the guy. The end of last week, they let him go with no charges.
Yeah, it's self-defense.
Because it was self-defense. They were beating him in the head with a skateboard. Got off, no charges.
If it's one-on-one, it's iffy. But if a group are attacking you, you got every right to shoot every one of the motherfuckers.
Yep.
Okay.
So, done. Over. Finished.
Yeah. Well, I understand everything you're saying, Walter. I understand what you're saying. You have the right to say that. But I'm telling you
what the training.
Listen, Walter, a lot of what they were doing is stupid ass, and you could talk with bravado and all that kind of stuff. If she wound up shooting her husband, it wouldn't make any sense. If he wound up shooting her, It wouldn't. You know what good is that going to do?
Let's
First of
go
all,
with this.
if you're gonna go out to a crowd of people, right? If there's hundreds of people going through your neighborhood and you go out with like a pistol with 6 rounds, okay, if that's what you got, that's what you got. But there's a part of this here. I'm not saying I disagree with these people or I don't support them. I showed you guys the meme that I put up. I said that I support them doing it. But we have to try to be better than that. Stupid assery leads to stupid assery.
How
Did anybody get hurt?
No.
Fortunately for everyone.
Did anybody get hurt? No.
Fortunately for everyone.
Did what they do accomplish what they needed to do? They protected their home successfully. I think it's a win.
I think there's lots of bad things. I think there's lots of bad things in there, guys. There's lots of bad things in there.
This 2A thing is, or gun people, they automatically just attack one another like vultures.
I don't think it's attacking if you point out things that are
but you don't realize that gets
that are
used
correct
against,
to point out. So what? So what?
It's not necessary. It's just,
why should we be dogmatic to each other? Why should we be dogmatic to each other?
Why not? Why do we have to automatically call out? He's got pink shirt on. He's got this on. He's got this on. Does it
I didn't
really
say anything
matter?
about a picture.
What if you showed up out and you came out in your underwear? Oh, look at him! He's in his underwear. He got no clothes. You know, it's like,
yeah.
I'd come out naked if I had to shoot the fucker.
Shooting gallery Eddie gave us $2 here. He says de-escalate instead of escalate. You know, if there's a crowd of people, listen to me, Walter. I'm listening,
but
let me explain something to you. This could have gone very badly wrong for these people. We could talking about stuff from a bravado point of view, and being practical about what you're gonna do. This could have gone these two, first of all, if they're defending their house and they're standing on their thing, I get that. Their handling could have hurt them. Okay, 2. She's like walking away from her husband with a pistol to go out there to those people, right? It's very easily, if someone rushed her, we'll be in a completely different situation. There's a lot of things that they're doing wrong. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying, hey, these kinds of things I would not do. I would be careful about doing this particular thing. We've shown it here. Lots of people defending their property and their businesses and doing it in a completely different way. Okay, if we as gun guys are gonna act like we're in freaking Mogadishu and we're not gonna aim and we're gonna do stupid shit, if something actually goes down, you're gonna wind up with your ass beaten. If you're lucky, you're gonna probably wind up dead. Right or wrong?
He had a 30-round mag, my friend. Look, I'm not gonna argue with you about it. It's not important. It doesn't matter. First thing, nobody got hurt. No property got damaged on their property, anyways. And the de-escalation was because somebody had a gun. It wasn't because. I agree. The survey says, and it happens every time. Watch it every time. It all starts out kind of peaceful, and then all of a sudden somebody starts throwing.
We have hit
screaming and chanting like it's some kind of, and then all of a sudden it just goes into a rage.
The line is here, and we are now beyond it. It is time to start showing force if somebody is invading your property.
Right.
Listen,
past the point of saying, "Oh, you gotta back up."
If somebody was on if a whole herd was on your property, you come outside with a gun.
Yep.
If you didn't, once they come into your house, it's
too late.
It's too late. Yeah.
But you're not listening to what I'm saying. I'm not coming down on these guys. I'm just trying to say, look, it's the same thing. We should all try to make each other better, right? I'm not saying that I'm perfect, I know everything, or I'm the most tactically ready person or anything like that.
I'm not saying I am
but if
either.
you make mistakes, so for example, if you and your wife are in your property trying to defend your property, and your wife's like walking away from you, pointing a gun at people, and you think, yes, for them they got lucky, there was no one else. If someone there decided to challenge her or go after her, or someone else had a gun there, they'll be in a bad position. If there's 2 of you out there, you should stay together. You should stay in the same place. If you're in the same place, you have to think about where the other person is that you care about before you wind up putting bullets in them. Okay, that's what I'm trying to tell you.
Again,
there's things that people could do here that can, to me, I already said that I support what they did, but it's a teachable moment. Try to be better. Don't just think because you're badass.
Well, my problem is
or
just,
in your brain you think you're badass, that you can actually survive something, or you know exactly what's going to happen to you.
That's my problem. Is I don't think people understand that in heat of the moment things, you're gonna perform perfectly. They like.
I don't care how much training you got.
No, doesn't matter.
I don't give a fuck
Of course
how much
not.
training you
Of course not.
If all of a sudden rocks and bottles start going and people start shooting at you, you
Okay.
can't train your way out of it. Sorry.
Why do you think? So
Sorry,
you guys
you
have
can't-
never
you can't-
heard of police officers running into a situation with someone, and they start shooting at each other. They start the firefight because someone's fingers on the trigger and guns start going off and people start reacting. You never heard about that.
I'm not sure the
It
point.
happens,
That wasn't what
but
happened here.
once again, here you're bringing something up that happens so rarely. 9
It
times out
doesn't-
of 10, it ain't the cops shooting the cops.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
That
okay.
happens.
I'm not going to go into this what if thing, because
That's the problem
what
here is
if
what if,
all
what
night.
if, what if,
What if
yeah.
all night?
Did
That's what if I
what
got-
they do succeed? Yes. Was it pretty? No.
No.
Self-defense
Okay,
is
and
rarely
that's
self-defense is rarely pretty. It's not going to be pretty. Fighting tyranny, doing all that sort of stuff, that's not pretty. And your perfect ass out, face forward, square up to your target, aim and shoot is not what
That's
happens
not
in
gonna
real
work.
life.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
And like I said, just watch all the other videos going on, and it never happened. It always turns into all of a sudden
You know what? I've said it before. I've said it before. Like, there's a lot of people who think that because they have guns, that they're ready for some shit, or because they have a lot of guns that they're ready for some shit. There's a lot of people, including gun guys, who are actually not even close to being ready for anything.
I think so. No, I don't think we're in disagreement
So
there.
being lucky is never
better.
the right way. Of course, you
you
want to be lucky, but you want to be deliberate. You want to be deliberate in your life. You want to be deliberate. Okay, and deliberate just doesn't mean like, oh, I got a gun. It takes a little bit more than that, okay? You need to think about what you're doing, because for us as gun guys, like, I get where everyone's coming from, but for me as a gun guy, when I look at that, there's a lot of things that I see there that's wrong. I'm not seeing that they're wrong because they own guns. I'm not seeing that they're wrong because they heard these people coming through and they decided to go out there and defend their property. I'm just telling you, whether you like it or not, from my point of view, there's some really bad things there. And if we allow ourselves to believe that, hey, that's okay, because everything was fine, that's stinking thinking that's going to lead to a lot of people getting hurt, and a lot of people who think they're badass actually getting their asses kicked. But whatever.
There are.
I'm not just going to jump all the way on the bandwagon with that.
If there's a civil war or mass protesting in your city, there are going to be casualties on both sides.
And if you get into this and you go out there like those guys, you will be the casualty.
I mean, from evidence,
you'll be the casualty.
No.
Survey says.
The evidence points to they were just fine.
Survey says.
Okay.
And I base it off of evidence.
I mean, if you look at crime reports, and we got to believe this stuff, some of it, 9 times out of 10, when a firearm is displayed, the situation goes down. Because the bad guy goes.
So James Miller says, would you feel the same way if it was a poor couple that couldn't afford training? Yo, you don't have to have money to think about situations like this.
Okay,
you don't have to have money.
I don't like that word training. Training's a myth.
Yeah, no.
Training is training. You don't have to go to $1,000 school to know how to shoot. Okay, sorry. All right, training. Keep your finger off the trigger unless you want to kill something. Okay, when you're ready to kill something or destroy something, put your finger on the trigger and use it. And don't point guns at things you don't want to kill. That's training. Okay, is that what we're talking about? I mean, what are we talking about? Or I know these people were probably lawyers and they had money and they lived in a mansion, but everybody's priority is not to go to training. Sorry.
I'm not saying There's really simple things that people can do without going and spending days training or training every day of the week or whatever. There's a lot of practical things that they can do to avoid. They were in this is a very dangerous situation for these guys that they were in. Okay, on the outside, and then the one also. Yeah, okay, that's one, and then the one that they created, also.
Stop! They didn't create this. Those fuckers came into their property. They broke into their property. They created the situation. When you have a house full of stuff, you have a store full of stuff. What happens? What happens? Somebody breaks in the door and comes and steals your stuff. These people are not there to. They'll start protesting until things. Oh, look at I see a TV in there. Let's go get it. I'm sorry, I just don't agree with you. I'm sorry. There ain't nothing. You can't really.
Okay, I'm just gonna say I understand what you're saying, Walter. I'm just gonna tell you having the gun is not good enough. Having it and not knowing what you're doing is not good enough. So and getting lucky that those people didn't understand that those guys didn't necessarily know what they're doing. Hey, they survived it. Okay, they survived it. They're okay. The people are no one got hurt from those guys in the crowd, and they didn't get hurt. Their property is okay, but things could have gone wrong for them over things that they had control of. And that's what I'm trying to say to you. If your adrenaline is pumping, and if you're standing behind me with your finger on the trigger and you have that gun, you, Walter, or you, Patrick, I would be very worried. I would be worried about you doing that. Okay? Because you're creating a situation that you could do something that's wrong, that you can't turn around and say, well, it was because these people came in here. It's because you were nervous and your finger's on the trigger and it goes off. Okay? We shoot guns all the time. We know what comes out of that. We understand that. Just because you have it doesn't make you a superhero or a badass. Okay? There's little things that you can find anywhere that would help save your life or save someone that you care about's life.
You keep saying this about being a badass. Nobody said anybody was a badass. It's not about being a badass. Nobody's a badass until they need to be a badass, or until it's over with. They can say they were a badass. Even the badasses aren't badasses. They all die the same way. They get shot the same way and die the same way. Those two could have been shot off their porch by somebody in the back of the crowd you didn't even see, right? Or got hit in their head with a rock.
But it's all what ifs, and it doesn't matter.
Right, and it doesn't matter.
You look at the situation for what it is. They successfully defended their property.
I could fall off the chair and get killed too.
Yeah, so, I carry my revolver in single action. Says, like I say, two things can be right at the same time. You both are right. I'm trying to say two things at the same time. I'm not knocking those.
Trying to be badass.
I'm not trying to knock those guys for what they're doing. Okay, I'm not trying to knock them for what they're doing, but there's things. If you look at it and you think, oh yeah, this is totally awesome. There's nothing going wrong here on their part. Well, okay, fine. I get it. I understand that.
Yeah. I'd rather have.
Brick says if they would have been met with force on force, meaning gun on gun, they would have been done.
No, okay. Here we go. You have no fucking idea to say that because you're talking about people that can't even.
You have no idea.
Yeah, you don't have any idea.
You don't know. You don't know. It's all hypothetical. You have no idea what would have happened.
Yeah. Well, you don't know until it happens. It's one of those things. Whatever. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah. Lots of things we're talking about are hypothetical. So.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, saying that it's hypothetical. That's not. I would say this. You are better off to be deliberate than accidental. Okay. Try to be deliberate in what you do. That's what I would say about it. Try to be deliberate in what you do, especially when your life is at stake and when lives of other people that you care about is at stake. That's what I would say. That's my feeling on that. Try to be deliberate, because once something happens, you cannot actually take that back. Okay? Yep. So try to be deliberate about it. That's let's see. Let's see if anyone has. Let's see what.
I gotta get a pink shirt. That's all I'm saying.
Kathleen Music Lover says those people voted for anti-gun laws. Anyone want to bet? I don't know. We'll find out like who they are and what.
Once again, that doesn't.
I'm not bothered by that. So the pink shirt.
It doesn't matter what they voted for.
Yeah, I agree with that. It doesn't matter.
They died. They died the same way the other people die.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what they voted for.
Chris Delboy wants to move on to another subject. We'll see, maybe.
My main thing wasn't what started all this. Was just we are much like in politics. Like the Democrats, they stay together and focus. Even though they hate each other's guts, they'll come together at the end to focus to win. I don't want to use the 2A. I don't like that 2A community. Gun owners in general, whether you're a 2A person or you're just a gun owner, they devour themselves when something goes weird. Or they don't like the color of that guy's gun, or they don't like the color of the shirt. He's got plaid on. They just eat each other alive. Instead of just focusing on the what's going on, they just he's a this or he's a that. He probably voted for it. It's like it doesn't matter. Sorry, I'm done.
I think with opinion, first of all, with opinion, everyone's entitled to their opinion.
Oh, sure
right?
they are.
And I don't think that giving, so I don't think, for example, let's say gun guys are out there saying, oh, these guys should have had better gun handling, which is what for example, I was looking at Iraq Veterans post, right? Eric threw up a post. Let me see. I'll go pull up his post so I don't misquote this thing.
Oh, and Bricks is saying about gated communities. In Florida, you can't close a gate on a road unless you maintain that road.
Yeah, in this place, they had the right to do that.
If it's a private road, they can close that fucking gate anytime they want and keep out whoever they want.
Yeah, in some parts of St. Louis, so I did some reading on this story. In some parts of St. Louis, you can still do this. Right? So this is like an old thing that used to exist. This community is an old community. This house is an old house that they bought and they redid, and they had the right. This is like all private property. Once those guys went into those gates, they were on private property for the whole community. They were trespassing.
Have you guys seen the inside of that house, by the way?
It probably looks like the friggin'.
When you think of an old world mansion, that's what it was.
Yeah, this thing looks old. Yeah.
Massive marble staircase, massive study with a big wooden ornate fireplace. It was unbelievable on the inside.
Yeah, and then some people like, the mayor lives on this private road or private community. So what?
Yeah,
I mean, what does that have to do with anything?
I mean, also, like, these people did spend a lot of money, from what I read, rebuilding this place. Maybe they didn't want it to be burned down for no reason. Let me just get Eric's thing in here for a second, okay? I'll throw it up here. He says the gun handling was laughable, but this is why we have the Second Amendment. Guess who didn't have his business ransacked and looted? I think this was a private home, but he shared this thing. He put that up there.
I'm with Eric on that.
Yeah, I agree. And then
it's ugly, but it worked.
Yeah. So and then also, where was this post? I shared it with you guys here. I'm gonna try to pull it up here. If you guys go to Ballistic Ink, which I recommend you go to.
Not John Doe.
If you're looking, huh?
John Doe, Hank for governor, mandating gun training before own firearm. I said no.
No, I'm not saying that. I never said that. So
and that's a leftist way of.
Yeah, I never said that.
Because one man's gun training is $1,000 course.
But I think in the after action of this, what do we call it? Was it Monday night quarterbacking?
Monday night quarterbacking?
Yeah, I have the right to Monday night quarterbacking. Anyway, let me show you guys this. So here's the Hank Strange store on Ballistic Ink, and look what's on there. The Catalina Wine Mixer T-shirt. This is basically a T-shirt.
Catalina Wine Mixer. Jesus Christ. It's not a fucking Catalina Wine Mixer.
Yeah, hey.
You going to the Catalina Wine Mixer?
Yeah. So and it's got these guys on it.
Who knows what that's from, by the way?
Or someone that is from Step Brothers.
I know you know what it is. I was asking the crowd, but now you gotta throw it out there.
Anyway, so listen, if you guys are interested if you're Step Brothers, if you're interested in getting this T-shirt or whatever, when you buy it from Ballistic Ink, in the drop down you could pick Hank Strange, and that will help support us. So there you go. You want to get the Catalina Wine Mixer shirt from over there, you can pick Hank Strange as the beneficiary of your support, and that helps us out. So there you go. And I'll be sure to get Walter some training with the money.
What the fuck?
Listen,
What are you up to,
you paid for
Walter?
some training.
What the fuck?
Uh-oh.
We lost.
Can you hear us, Walter?
I clicked on one of the things in our chat, and it didn't open up. It just went to Google.
Oh.
I like that
about-
better, Hank. You need to take CB's idea and make a T-shirt called the Box Wine Boogie Boogs,
Oh my
or
God.
the Box Wine Boogie Boys.
Where is that? Oh, here, I see it.
CB
Box
just said
wine.
that
Box
instead of
wine
Catalina
boogie
Wine
boy.
Mixer, the Box Wine Boogie Boys.
Box
Oh my
wine.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like box wine reminds me of generic cigarettes.
Yeah, is that a thing? Are there generic cigarettes?
Yes.
Oh God, I bet they're awful.
So that's you're so hooked that you'll.
It's a
Take it by where
generic
you can
cigarette, so it doesn't have a brand name on it, or
No,
it
not
does
really,
have a
no.
brand
Or
name, but it's
they're just some of the brands that are just real, just
cheap.
like anyone could
Yeah.
put their name on it.
Thoughts.
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. Okay, Tyven Show wants to know whose phone is making the popping sound. Do you guys hear some popping?
Not me.
I don't hear popping.
Mine.
If
is-
two of us don't hear it, then it's not coming from us.
Let's see.
Speaking of that,
The Range came in. He says, so I got in late. Hank, are you saying these people handle their business wrongly by displaying their firearms? No, I'm not saying that.
He said they could have done better. That's it.
Yeah, they could have done this better.
That's it.
I just
Cut-
feel
they
like
could have done better.
they could have followed some basics firearms handling rules.
that's all.
Rules.
That's all I'm saying.
Rules.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that. I mean, but once again, I think it.
At the end of the day, it comes down to were they successful in what they were
Yes.
trying to do, and they
So-
were.
Is anybody hurt? No.
Yeah. Kathleen Music. Walter, I'm sorry, let me just get this out there, Patrick. Kathleen Music Lover says Walter has a phobic hatred with the word trading. Walter, I don't know. He dislikes he strongly dislikes lots of words.
The reason the training word is
No, I'm with you. I understand what you're coming at.
it's a way to put people down.
Yes,
Sorry.
it is. It absolutely is.
Have you heard about the training?
The people that are like, oh, I've worked with. It's like a snooty thing. It's like, oh, I've been all over. I've trained with so I've trained, and it's like I don't give a.
I don't give a fuck who you're training with.
I don't care. I shoot every weekend, and I'm pretty fucking good at it. I'll be fine.
Can you shoot the gun with no sights on it?
Yeah, we've done that plenty of times.
Listen, we should at least use this as a conversation starter with your loved one who may be responding with you to something bad that happens, to try to talk about things before they actually happen. Like, hey, honey,
Hey, Marley,
if-
don't shoot me in the ass when the protesters show up.
he's such a
Don't walk behind me with your finger on the trigger.
Don't shoot me in the ass, okay?
Marley
We're
is
good.
like
I had the conversation.
Marley.
we had a
Is Marley even there?
She's downstairs cooking.
She's like, what the hell
What
is
the-
he doing?
She literally just went, what are you talking about?
Oh boy. But just have that conversation like, hey, we just need to be careful when we're responding to stuff.
I completely get that because in a moment of mass confusion, shit can happen. So,
Mhm.
but, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see here.
What else happened today? That took us an entire hour.
Yeah.
What else
Also,
happened?
yeah, I know. Try to have more
It went fast, though, I
ARs.
can tell you that.
Try to have more ARs in your home, please, with slings. Slings, best thing.
I need to get some
Sling.
slings. I am very slingless around here, and I don't like it. I need more slings.
Yeah, slings are important.
I have a built M16 over here, and no shit, there's no sling on it.
I got a pile of the single point slings, literally a pile of them. And you know why I don't have slings on all the guns? Because when you store them,
Gets in the way.
and you put a lot of them together, when you pull one out, it pulls
You
the other one
start
out.
pulling
It's
the
like,
entire gun cabinet out.
and next thing you know, I'm pissed off and I'm cussing.
I tried
my
pulling
gun-
something out of the back of my safe the other day and caught one sling. It was my AK. I caught the AK.
I know
sling,
where this is
which
going.
then fell and caught like two other guns and pulled
Everything
them out.
comes
again.
out.
And I was just like, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you're probably I think Walter said this when we were talking about it, that hey, this thing happened, they just went and grabbed stuff. You know, it's one of these things that we all have to do, that we're all guilty of. That gun that you're gonna rock and roll with should probably stay outside of your safe. Should probably have a sling on it. Should have a light on it.
Oh, wait a minute!
You know.
Wait a minute! Stay outside of your safe. That's not child safe.
Don't start with me, Walter.
Can I throw this out there for any of the active self-protectors that are watching right now? Anybody listening? AIM Surplus has X-grade LE trade-in Smith and Wesson M&P 9s, just the old M&P 9 cop guns, 17-round polymer guns, $269. If you need yourself a good shooter pistol, AIM Surplus has it right now. They'll be gone in like 2 hours.
M&P 9s?
M&P 9, the full-size duty pistols.
M&P 9s, really?
The Gen 1 duty pistols. They have them for $270. Go get one if you need a.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
That's the type of gun you can throw in the truck and forget about.
It's a good gun. I think that's got a accessory rail, I guess we should call it.
Yeah. No, it's a modern striker-fired polymer pistol.
Yeah.
It's just the first gen instead of the second.
Yeah.
Jay, one last thing on the pink shirt person, real quick.
Okay.
Could you imagine if he would have came out with full body armor, the whole deal? Could you imagine the reaction then?
That would be me.
And the wife comes out the same way.
Those protesters would have probably been running, but
no, they would. No,
I think
they don't have any brain. They don't have enough brains to run.
I need one of those bomb diffusal suits, and that's what I'll come out in.
The what?
You know, with the full face shield, the groin protection. Yeah. That's what I need.
Yeah.
I need like a green bomb suit. You come out with a bomb suit.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's see. James Miller asked this question. He says, next argument, single or double point slings. Whatever works. Doesn't matter. Whatever you are comfortable with.
Yeah. That's something that
I don't like when you got a single point sling and you go moving around to your junk. Yeah, I like a double point because it slings across.
Yeah, get one that's going to be easy for you to do what you need to do, because something can happen and you've got to let go of that gun. You know,
slings are important. You don't realize.
And we all mess up and have slings and don't have them. But the thing that the gun that you know you're going to go to, in my opinion, should have a sling on it. And if it's you and your wife, please make sure that she also has her own AR, please. I'm just asking for a friend.
Okay, I'll give him credit. He should have had 2 ARs. He should have had like 17 ARs, but 2 would have been better.
Should have pulled the wheelbarrow out behind him.
Yeah, just roll it. I mean, if people ever need, if we're ever defending this house, I'm just opening the safe and dumping the ammo and saying, get what you like. Take your pick and find a window.
Yeah. He's a rich guy. He should have had like a Mark 19 grenade launcher.
Yeah, if there's 150 people outside of your house, you better be ready.
Oh, wheel.
I'm just saying.
What was that meme I sent you the other day? The sprinklers and tracer rounds.
Has that ever been like a movie thing or something?
I don't know, but it should be.
Oh, what? That is like scary thought. Yeah.
This gas.
The sprinklers are in gasoline in the sprinklers. And all you need is like.
Yeah, that'll be. I was looking at eight-legged freaks over the weekend. Did anyone ever see that movie?
You were looking at eight-legged freaks.
Yeah, it's a it's like this movie where the spiders they had like some toxic waste fell on the spiders and they all became giant spiders and started eating the whole town. You never saw that?
No.
I think it has David Arquette. It was like from 2002 or something like that. It's not an old movie. It's not one of those.
It is 2002.
Yeah, but it's kind of like a comedy. Kind of like a comedy.
That one must have went straight to VHS.
No, it was out there.
Or VHS, excuse me.
David Arquette, Carrie Werher, Scott Terra, Dougie Doug. Scarlett Johansson was in it.
Scarlett Johansson is up in there. Yeah.
What?
That doesn't mean anything.
She was very young. She was very young when that teenager.
And very cheap then, probably. So.
Yes, exactly.
She wasn't a Black Widow at that point. So.
She hadn't met Weinstein yet, probably.
Yeah. Okay.
Look, people grimace when you say stuff like that. It's the truth. It's not.
Don't ruin my fantasies of Scarlett Johansson, Walter.
It's not. Did you see? A lot of those major women all have been through Weinstein. Sorry.
Did you see the porn news over the weekend?
Oh, tell us.
What's his name got arrested?
About our former porn star?
No, so
He's still a porn star. What's his name?
Mia Khalifa
Oh,
brought out she's a young porn star, was a young porn star that left the industry. Started a GoFundMe to help support her because she now has PTSD and has to go to therapy, and a porn company owns all of her videos and her .com, PiaKhalifa.com, and that's just wrong, and how dare they, and she can't afford to buy it back, and it's like...
I'm sure at some point she did this. She went like...
So how many millions does she already raise?
Yeah, a lot, actually. I haven't seen it today.
I know Jenna Jameson owns... She's still big time in the production of stuff.
When you are a brand... And even if you're a porn star, when you are the commodity, you don't sell your brand.
No, you don't sign off your stuff.
Nope. So
that's typical.
Yeah,
that's typical music stuff too.
She was eBay to make money to buy her own shit back or something.
Oh, yeah, okay. I thought you were talking about Ron Jeremy. Did you see that? Ron Jeremy's in trouble.
Well, I heard something, but no, I don't know what.
5 chicks are accusing him of rape or something.
Yeah, I'll throw it up here. I won't throw up the particular thing. It says adult film star Ron Jeremy.
Anybody?
Not guilty.
I'm not defending him by any means.
Raping 3 women, sexually assaulting 4th. So there you go. Ron Jeremy.
Surprised me.
He's got some issues.
But I'm not defending him. I don't want anybody to think I'm defending him. But how was it, when this stuff happens like 7 years ago, and all of a sudden, it seems like now, I don't get it.
Just all of a sudden I've decided I'm gonna come forward and
there's multiple charges from multiple women from one source. How does that all come together? It sounds, I don't know. Maybe I just don't understand how.
Here's my opinion. My take on why that happens. I think that they probably all got together, but at first they probably got a lawyer, like I forgot the name of that chick, that basically, because lawyers allow you to do legal blackmail. So they would probably, what's the name of that lawyer that takes on all these cases?
I was just thinking the creepy porn lawyer, but I don't know his name.
No, this is a woman, this is a female lawyer. Anyway, so first what they try to do is like, see if they can get money out of the guy.
Oh, they're trying to extort him?
Yeah, and then if you don't have any money, then you get locked up.
And they just...
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I forgot her name. I think it's Gloria Aldred, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
She usually takes a lot of these cases, and if they think the person has money, they try to get as much money out of them as possible.
So she's an extortion artist.
Allegedly. I'm not a lawyer. This is all for entertainment purposes.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
we are all comedians here. We have comedy licenses.
And I didn't even stay to Holiday Inn Express last night either or anything. So, but yeah, I just don't understand how that all works. I guess I'm not in that. That's not my world. So
yeah,
not the porn stuff, but how people come back 10 years later and say I was raped by so and so. How do you have evidence?
You don't. It's all hearsay, I imagine.
Yeah, or I mean, unless they said they did a rape kit on you and they actually have.
If they have that, and stuff. Yeah, if they still have that, then yes. But
honestly, I think this depends on what state you're in. In California, it's probably really easy. So,
well, you have to think about you got to think about those poor lawyers too. Yeah. They just have to make a living.
Yeah. My thing is, if something bad happens like this, immediately go to the police, file a report.
Well, you would think that
get the evidence right? And stuff like that. This is like I hate slavery and I hate this. The subject
I don't like this extortion type stuff either. It's just
yeah, that sucks. The Range says ScarJo had her 21st birthday at my ex-partner's place in New York. He's a player and into the Holy Weird Peoples. So there you go.
Good for
the Hollyweird. I think he's saying. Yeah. And Judd Miller says, did anyone else see Kevin Dixie is moving to ATL? So ATL. I did.
He's moving to Atlanta.
Yep.
Good for him.
Yep. Yeah,
I think he'll fit in well in Atlanta. I'm not being disparaging.
What is that supposed to mean?
No, I'm just saying. I think it's a good job.
Well, he has a day job too, so.
Oh yeah. So is it for the day job? Is that why he's moving?
I don't have any information, but I know he has.
Yeah. I don't want to put Kevin Dixie's business out.
Yeah, but I do know.
And then because we will hear about it.
And the last time I chatted with him, I asked him about his day job, and he said yes.
Yeah.
Good for him.
It's a good move. It's a good move. He's not on the run from St. Louis gangsters or anything like that, despite what you may have heard. He is moving to ATL, and I actually did reach out to him about this thing because everyone was like, "Oh, what does Kevin Dixie think about these people? It's in St. Louis, in his neck of the woods." He told me this. He said, because I said, "What do you think?" He says, "I think this is both right and wrong. I'm gonna do a quick IG live on it tonight. So if he didn't already do it,
he's on right now. Actually,
he is. Okay, so there you go.
Don't go over there. Stay with us.
Yeah, or do both things at the same time and shout out Kevin Dixie.
Or if you can actually, listen to two things at once.
Yeah.
one ear with us and one ear with Kevin Dixie. It's like, you'll kill yourself.
You would go nuts.
Let's see. So that's it. Yeah. At some point he'll probably come on here. I think right now they're busy moving and stuff like that. So there you go. But he'll be in the ATL, so that means he could show up on you easily.
That's for those of us here in Florida. That's Atlanta for those. That's Atlanta. Or Hotlanta or whatever they call it. It's all these names.
Okay, Boomer.
That is one city I could not live in.
It's a Georgia. It's a city in Georgia that the North.
For who in 2020 doesn't know that ATL is Atlanta?
Well, that's what you get put on your bag at the airport. ATL.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
What is TPA?
Tampa.
Ah, look at that. Oh, man.
Well, what's TPA actually stand for? Tampa something airport? Public airport? Private?
It just means Tampa. I think it's just abbreviation for Tampa.
Yeah, just abbreviation. Yeah. All of the cities have that. All of the cities. Los Angeles is LAX. There's no X in Los Angeles.
What was that, Ben?
X.
Yeah. What?
Okay.
What did she say?
NSY. MSY.
Nancy.
Missouri? Mississippi?
No, it's Moisen. It's New Orleans Airport.
Oh.
It's called Moisen, whatever, but it's actually called Louis A. Armstrong or whatever. It's got two names.
Oh, okay. Okay.
They never got really old name.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever flown into New Orleans. No, I've only driven through. I don't think I've never stopped over anything.
They have a brand new airport too.
I've never been to Nolans.
Yeah, you never been.
I want to go really bad. I've heard it's awesome.
I tell you what, the best time to go to New Orleans is in the spring when it's still cool. If you go in the wintertime, it can be cold, literally. Or
I just want to get fat on beignets and coffee and listen to jazz and go see that Marie Laveau or whatever, the Voodoo Queen. Like, I just want to do the touristy things. That's all I want. That's all I want in life. Beignets, coffee, and jazz. Like, what else you need? And a little voodoo.
A couple of hurricanes.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not living there. Let's start
not
there.
Not the storm, but I mean some drinks.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, we're all good. We're good with that.
I don't mean to bust your bubble, but the beignets are just basically fried dough with some powdered sugar.
Mouth. They look delicious. Walter, tell me
they're basically Zeppelis. The Italians invented this way before Louisiana people.
I'm here for any of this New York garbage.
Thank you.
I had this thing in New York City called Zeppelis. There's exactly the same thing as a beignet. Pretty much exactly the same thing. I like the beignets at Alexis's wedding, but the other beignets, the beignets are fine. The problem is all the places that serve this, it's now just like a beignet mill basically. There's massive crowds outside. When you go in there, it's all nasty. It's crazy.
Some places are like that. Down the quarters, not the place to go to get beignets.
Yeah, you have to go to the non-tourist place to get it.
And the non-tourist places are now.
Walter doesn't want to tell us because he doesn't.
There used to be two places. You had two choices, but now you only have one choice in the city. So.
But at the wedding, Babyface, you missed the most awesome beignets.
I was a little busy getting married myself.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I got one beignet.
Yeah, you got one, and you're welcome for that, Walter. I hooked you up with that one.
Yeah,
I throw this out there. Went to a half Canadian wedding. One of my best friends, his family's Canadian, and the wife was not. They did poutine for the appetizer at his wedding. Oh, it was delicious.
Yeah, what is poutine?
The fries with cheese curds and gravy. Oh my God, it's fucking amazing.
Sounds like
Canadian thing. It's a very Canadian
I think I'm already too fat for that.
Oh God, yes. No, I couldn't walk out of there. It was too good.
Yeah, let me tell you what happened. So when Walter's daughter got married, and we were at the thing. It was a very nice venue, and they had the most awesome beignets. They were little tiny beignets, but it was amazing. And so the people serving there were my people. So basically, when they came out, they would serve me first, and then everyone else had to fight for themselves to get the beignets.
You're like, oh, the brother out here. We're gonna hook him up.
Yeah. So every single time they came out hot from the kitchen directly to me, and I was like, thank you and thank you and thank you. And Walter was like, I don't understand what's happening here because I'm paying for this. So I told the guy, the one time that Walter got one, I was like, that guy over there is paying for everything, so you got to at least let him
have one.
Was it good, Walter?
Yes, it was.
It
was
go.
Fresh.
You are welcome, sir. You are welcome. Don't say I never did anything for you.
One. Just one.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Later on in life when you want to say that I never hooked you up with anything, it doesn't matter that you paid for it all at the end of the day. The 20 that I had were delicious.
And I can see those, by the way.
Let's see. Razor JB chimed in on this because he definitely wants us to start fighting about this all over again.
I'm done
he
with
says
that.
Pointing without shooting the gun did solve the issue at hand. Take the small victories when we can. That's from Razor JB. So
one day at a time. One day at a time.
And Brick says Pootang. What is Pootang?
That's Wang Dang Sweet Poon Dang. Come on.
Oh boy.
Sweaty Teddy. Boom.
So do you think we're going to be handing the president over to Iran anytime soon?
There's a bounty.
Oh gosh.
You want to collect on the bounty?
I saw people. Twitter is just such a fucking shithole. I don't understand why people actually go there other than to get mad at each other. Because there were people on there that were like, "Yeah, we could take that hit. Just hand him over. Just get rid of him." It's like, no, that's not how any of this works.
Good luck with that. There's
It's not how this works.
There's a pretty good chance you will get shredded on the way to that mission.
There's a lot of people who are just plain old wetards.
Yeah,
they just don't understand.
Let's paint a picture for the people of what we're talking about here. I'll throw this headline up: U.S. calls for arms embargo renewal on Iran amid Trump arrest warrant. Wait. We are calling for arms, but we shouldn't be selling any kind of guns to Iran. But whatever.
Well, that's for everybody else too.
It blocks our allies from selling to them.
And that never worked because the French and the Germans sell their shit all the time.
They don't
that's
give
a waste of time. Then top U.S. envoy to Iran said the expiring UN arms embargo. Okay, they lost me with UN. Against the Islamic Republic should be renewed to prevent it from becoming the arms dealer of choice for rogue regimes and terrorist organizations. Hours before Tehran issued an arrest warrant for for President Trump over the killing of a top general.
It should say under UN, like tits on a boar hog.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you. Fucking useless.
The best thing you can do to the Iranians, and the thing that works the best is
ass missiles.
No. Financial stuff.
Oh,
that's pretty much it.
Financial stuff. If you can shut them down financially,
honestly, if they don't get weapons from us, they're going to go to China or Russia or any of the countries that don't like us.
There's plenty. Well, even ones that do like us sell them weapons.
Oh yeah, if they're making money.
But look at what they're mad about. They're mad because Trump took out their general.
Killed Soleimani.
He is a terrorist.
Yeah, I don't think anyone misses that
Soleimani?
general.
What did they say about him? The New York Times had a eulogy to Soleimani. Remember, he was a martyr for whatever the fuck they had.
And
this is the general, right?
That's him.
Right.
And when they offed him, I guess they used that cool the missile that does the knife thing. We talked about that, right? Were you there when I talked about it? They have a not tow missile, the one they fire from the drones. Tomahawk, not Tomahawk. Well, anyways, what it does, instead of using HE and explode, as it approaches the target, blades come out of the weapon, the body of the missile, and when it hits, just the kinetic force and the blades being out,
shreds.
But what it does, it doesn't cause collateral damage. It doesn't kill. It doesn't kill little Muhammad playing with his trucks over there in the dirt because of it doesn't have a bomb in it. So
that's some brutal ass.
Oh, it is.
We had so one of my grandfather. I'm going way off topic here. My grandfather worked for Honeywell back in the 50s, 60s. And I talked to him one time about some of the projects he worked on. One of them was this anti-tank mine that we had designed that it had a charge at the bottom and a blade-like thing, and it would jump up to the height of a Russian tank where the commander's head was, and like knock the head right off of whoever's driving the, captaining the tank.
Okay.
Yeah, it just reminded me of that. It was one of those weapons we designed to anti-Russia weapons, because it was specifically like the height was measured specifically for Russian tanks.
Take the commander out.
Yep, just whoop.
Yeah. Couple things. Racer JB says we aimed in Mogadishu. Okay. Copy that.
They also heard they minigunned in Mogadishu.
Yeah. Those things are really cool.
Brick says, what are the thoughts on Trump knowing about the bounties on U.S. servicemen and women by the Taliban paid for by Russia, which was also a headline. I'll throw that up. White House is saying they didn't know. Trump didn't know. This is from NPR. Trump says he was not briefed on Russian bounties because intelligence was not credible. I think this particular thing, I don't know whether or not you guys heard about it. Let's see. It says, in a tweet late Sunday night, President Trump said the intelligence community told him he was not briefed about allegations that Russia had offered the Taliban bounty payments to kill Western forces, including U.S. troops, because it did not find the reports credible. So this is what he's saying, but there's other people out there saying other stuff. I think, I don't know. I don't think that, I'm going to assume that he didn't know about that, because I think any president that hears about that is going to obviously take steps against Russia. I don't see why Trump would give a crap about Russia and not want to put that out there if it was something credible. That's my opinion.
Once again, if I told you that and they said we don't have solid evidence, you're not going to make a big thing about it. I mean, it'd be stupid to make.
Should we start launching the missiles over it?
No.
I think you have to. In my opinion, I don't know what happened, and we'll find out. If there's more information or whatever. But I think ultimately no president's going to be in that position and not care. So.
No, you'd care, but once again, you have to be positive. You can't be like, well, it's hearsay. We heard this mumbling here, and this, you can't do that.
Mm-mm. Do I think stuff like that happens? For sure.
Why would the?
I'm saying the Russians or other countries doing things like that. I think there's bounties and stuff like that. They give out bounties in football. Don't they give out bounties in football to take out other football players?
That goes on a lot, but I don't know why. The Russians have so many other things.
I think the Russians are mad about, like, Afghanistan, for example. Remember, Americans, way back in the days, used to help, people like Osama to fight against the Russians. So
I don't get why they would. Okay, the Taliban are still crazy Islamists, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Mm-hmm. Well, is there a place called Chechnya? Remember that place called Chechnya?
Right.
Well, there's also crazy Islamists. Why would you? You think about why would you pay the crazy Islamists over here when they could?
So you're saying why would Russia give money to the Islamists who potentially could use that against Russia in the future?
It doesn't make. It's like saying when the people who are usually friends with the Russians in the underhanded socialist buddy kind of way are the Democrats, right? So why would Trump? That whole Russia thing doesn't make sense either. It's like what? A person that thinks normally, the pieces don't line up. It just doesn't work. And I guess it doesn't work because it wasn't real. So, and that's coming to a head too. The whole FBI Russian thing. There's evidence is leading right back to Biden and Obama running the whole operation. So, we just have to be willing to accept the truth, and a lot of people aren't willing to accept the truth.
Yeah, I don't know if I would put limits on what is it? The enemy of my
enemy is my friend.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Well, let's look.
I was about to sound like Bush. Remember Bush Like, fool me once, shame on
You fooled
you.
me once
Fool me
and
twice, but didn't really
me
fool
twice.
me, yet you've then shame
Shame.
on the person who fooled me.
Fool me again. And
Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it.
No, that's Trump 1. That's Trump 1.
That's Bush 1. That's
yeah, I was
Bush
just
1.
talking about W.
Not gonna do it. That's Daddy Bush. No, not gonna do it.
Let's see, a couple things here. The Range gave us $5. He says, "Is Trump going to lose to Joe Biden?" Question mark. Is that our reality? Question mark. That's scary, to be honest. I don't know.
No.
I don't know what's gonna happen there. We'll find out as we when we get there. What will come out of it? I don't think a lot of people in America are gonna vote for Biden, but that's me.
Once again, if people are willing to accept the truth and listen, Biden and Obama pretty bad folks, you know. And look at Biden's been in Washington for 50 years and done nothing. Period. So, but you know, if you're a diehard leftist, you're gonna follow the party line like a good commie. So, you know, that's what they do.
Yeah. I tend to I want to believe that most people in America don't really, like, they can see how crazy Joe Biden is, so, you know.
And you know, if you look at Joe Biden recently, when they show him in public, he looks bad.
Yeah.
He looks like the Walking Dead to me. I mean, he's looking creepy. Joe's looking creepy dead. So I don't know, man.
Yeah.
He must be on. He must have Hillary's doctor or something now. So.
Yeah. Tyven Show says this BS. There are bounties on troops as far back as Desert Storm days, and always continue to present day. That's just common knowledge these days. That's from Tyven. And Razor JB, I think he's being snarky or sarcastic or both of those. He says the majority of gun guys are ready. Just ask them. So.
Well, I mean, I would say they're ready to defend their property. Yeah, sure. Why wouldn't you be? You always were, right? What's changed? Nothing.
Yeah.
Except there's more targets. Okay, I'm making light of it. Okay, let's see. But yeah, you've always been ready to defend yourself, your property, your home, your people.
you should be.
Yeah, you always should be ready. You know, whatever it takes. If you got to do it with a butter knife, man, do it.
Something to remember. It's been proven. Magazine springs don't weaken by letting rounds sit in it. Download them to 28 and stack them high.
It's better. It's not so much a matter of the magazine spring going bad. It's the fact that you've overstuffed the magazine.
Don't overstuff it. And download to 28 and
right.
stack them deep whenever you need them.
Okay. All right. There you go.
Paid for by
Guidance.
Babyface P.
Guidance from Babyface P. That's what
Marley
one
makes
to
this thing
grow
called
on.
Taco
One to
Bake.
grow on.
Marley makes this
just-
thing called Taco Bake, and it's delicious.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
One thing to keep in mind of too, just in case if Creepy Joe for somehow gets elected, you think it's crazy now getting stuff? You think it's crazy?
It'll be back to the beginning of the Obama era.
It'll go back. No, it'll go back to after Newtown and these shootings. and
Newtown.
stuff.
It'll go back to Newtown. Nothing will be available.
You'll be able to sell anything. I don't care. I don't care how old and broken up it is. You'll be able to sell anything. So, and people will buy it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I mean, listen, ultimately, here's my thing. Like, I don't know how the election's going to go. I can, we can, what is it? We can do what ifs, which is one of Walter's least favorite
Not
words.
what ifing on that one. Nope.
But here's my thing.
You know what
At
I
the
miss?
end of the day, it doesn't matter to me who's president. All I know is I'm not living in America without the Constitution. I'm going to live here, but if there's no Constitution, we'll basically be fighting here.
I miss how, and I hate using this phrase, but how woke we were during the Obama administration, where nothing gun-related got past us, and we were all on the front of, let's fight for the Second Amendment. We don't give a shit now, because everybody thinks Trump's just going to come, save us.
Yeah.
Walter's talking like an old kung fu movie. Am I doing like, oh?
Howdy
like
there,
Appalachian Gun Runner.
partner. How you doing today?
Appalachian Gun Runner. I agree with
Padawan.
1,000,000% with Babyface. I fill mags to 28, fill pouches with mags, fill plastic totes with pouches, and repeat. That's how you know you're ready.
Repeat.
That's how you know you're ready.
When Appalachian Gun Runner is coming out there with one of those, what's those red carts called? What are those? What do they call those red carts on wheels? It's a something
filled with
flyer.
totes.
Isn't that a Damn it. What is the big red cart with the wheels?
I know what you're talking about. I don't know the name.
Yeah, anyway. There's a big cart that people have. It's like a big red thing. It's a something fly. Okay, whatever. When he rolls out one of those carts, yeah, you'll see that. You'll see that footage. Yeah, I forgot what that thing. Someone will tell us in the chat what it is. And let's see what else is. Let's see what else is going here. Brick says Trump has been the worst for the 2A.
The worst? I don't know if I'd go to the worst. I mean,
Yeah.
you ever lived through the '89 gun ban? You ever lived through all the other gun bans? They turned off everything from China and Russia. And
Radio Flyer. Armament and Access says Radio Flyer. Yeah.
That's a wagon.
Yeah, I want one of those, by the way. Do they make those?
Yeah.
Do they make those?
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
They still make them.
Yeah, lots of people saying Radio Flyer. Boom, there you go, Radio Flyer. Yeah, so let's see here. Okay, let me, there's a couple things. Everything's feeding through here really fast. By the way, go back to what Babyface said. I think that under Obama, everyone was awake. Under Trump, lots of people are sleeping, not paying attention to stuff that's going on.
They're resting.
Yeah, ultimately, I suggest everyone go out there and vote. I'm going to go vote, but it doesn't matter who's president, man. Even if the guy I vote for wins and becomes president, I'm still keeping an eye on him.
Well,
You know, we're not giving up the Constitution in America. So,
well,
that's something I could tell you that if people aren't willing to fight for it, man, I don't know.
yeah.
You know, it's going to be one world after that, one world order after that thing. I could just tell you, just prepare for that. This is from Edward. Edward Andrews sent this message. I'm going to read it to you. I'm not sure what Babyface went off to. But here, let me see. I'll just go down to me and Walter for a second until I see him come back. Okay, so Edward Andrews says, always awesome to hear you guys press for various views on opinion. Oftentimes it gets heated. Walter says, once again. ... BFP says, look, at the end of the day, ... And you say, here's the thing. And then Walter starts bringing the F-bombs. Laugh out loud.
You hear me? I'm like, I hear you, goddamn.
He says priceless. Okay. Yeah. Listen, that's the thing. People should be able to argue with each other. We're still friends at the end of the day.
Yeah, we'll be all right.
At the end of the day, I'm still going to shoot up Walter's ammo.
I'll still knock down the ones trying to shoot you if they try to get you.
Yep. I'll still get you at least one beignet at the end of the day, Walter.
Okay. Bless your heart. Hey, as far as I want to say about training, learn how to change the tire in your car. Learn how to start a fire. That's training you'll need if you can't provide for yourself if the lights go out.
Mm-hmm.
The gun won't matter.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of things that I think everyone needs to learn, man. People need to learn medical stuff if something goes wrong.
Yeah, that's important. Basic how to, and learn. And one thing I found too is, from my own experiences, it's real easy when things get weird to get really excited and out of control. Some people lose their mind. I mean, they lose control. They start screaming. They start yelling, and it's like, shut the fuck up. We don't need to hear you yelling and screaming and crying and everything else. Go someplace else, because that doesn't help the situation. Like if there's a hurricane coming and your kids are all freaked out and you're all freaked out, it doesn't do any good. Just chill. And even if you are freaked out, don't freak out in front of your kids, okay? Because then kids, they grow up to be little freaks too. Mm-hmm. And then it's just like, it's a downward spiral. You laugh, but it's a downward spiral. People... the littlest, you get hurt, you cut yourself bad and you're bleeding, and people start screaming. It's like, shut the fuck up and get me a rag. Let's stop the bleeding, not scream.
Did you see? I don't know what you guys are talking about. I just got back, but
being prepared. We're talking about Boy Scout stuff.
Life training. Well, life training.
Did you see the guy that got shot in the leg with a rubber bullet, and it barely cut him? This was during one of the protests.
Oh yeah, and they're putting a tourniquet on his leg.
She's like, get a tourniquet. It's like, what are you thinking?
He had a bad
It's
bruise.
Practice, training.
Yes, he's got a bad bruise. You're going to cut the circulation off.
Kill his leg, man. What are you doing?
Oh, my God.
Did you also see the dude that got shot rubber bullet in the nuts?
Oh, no, I don't want to.
Lost the nut.
Oh, my gosh.
Poor fella. Poor fella.
Jeez. Yeah.
Good. Hopefully he can't.
No one should have to be just a solo nut out there.
A one nut son of a bitch. Yeah.
One is better than none, but
A one nut leftist. That's what it is.
Wow.
No, you know, but it's like, okay, well, you wouldn't have got shot in the nut if you weren't out there doing this silly shit, right?
You think so?
Right? You think maybe? You know?
Yeah.
Good enough.
Better a rubber bullet than a real one.
Yeah, you could have got like a 223 round and take your whole scrotum right off. You know?
Fuck me.
I mean, that's or take the whole thing off. I mean, there's guys that have lost their
Sympathetic pains are going through lots of people.
Yeah,
right
the thought of that is just like, ooh.
Oh
Well,
boy. All right,
can we
now
say
I'm
scrotum?
going to call for changing the subject.
Okay.
I'm going to call for it. Let's see, there's so many things. Let's do a gun-related thing directly, and I shared this with you guys earlier, but I don't know if you heard about this or not. Remington Arms preps for bankruptcy sale to Navajo Nation. What? What is
They're
happening?
selling to the Navajo Nation?
Yeah, this is in the New York Post, but it's in lots of places if you look it up.
I saw that story. I didn't read anything about it, but
Yeah, here, I'll
that's
read it.
that's
for you.
interesting.
Yeah. Remington Arms, America's oldest gun maker, is preparing to file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection and is in advanced talks for a potential sale to the Navajo Nation, the Wall Street Journal reported on Friday. What?
Navajos, if you need somebody to jump in and get them back on track, I'm in. We're going to bring back the glory days of Remington, not this crap that they are now.
Okay, wait a second. All of a sudden, are you in the Navajo tribe, Babyface?
I can be if they want me to help out, bring back. I mean, listen, business partners don't have to be Navajo natives.
No,
Come on.
No. I would be very. I sure hope they dig deep into the money of the Navajo Nation. Make sure it's not some China connection, because I know the Chi-Coms like to get their hands into everything.
Mm-hmm.
It says Remington is making preparations for the Native American tribe to serve as the lead bidder to purchase its assets out of Chapter 11, the Journal reported here, citing people familiar with the matter. The report added the filing could come within days. Remington had previously filed for bankruptcy protection in March 2018. The company makes the Bushmaster AR-15 style rifle used and blah, blah, blah. I don't know, whatever.
Not anymore, they don't.
Remington and a representative of the Navajo Nation did not immediately respond to Reuters for comment. So do you think this is like, what would be the reason to go to the Navajo Nation? Do they just have the money? Are they planning on moving the manufacturing facilities there? Maybe the anti-gun people won't mess with the Navajo Nation, perhaps?
Listen, the Navajos learned back in the day, one group had guns, one had bows, and they lost, so they've decided, let's buy the gun company.
I think it would be a good deal. I think it would be a good deal for the Navajo Nation. To have it.
Let me go one step further here.
Mm-hmm.
We gave them alcohol. Now they figured, no, we're going to take these back. Let's get casino and fuck them that way. So they take the money from the casino. I think they get the money. They don't get the money from anything else. They have a lot of casinos. So
yeah, but I think this might be a smart move.
They don't even own those.
Yeah.
They like hardly own them.
The casinos.
Yeah, they what was it? I thought some Middle Eastern companies came in and tried to buy parts of it.
I'm not sure.
Something like that.
I don't know.
But whatever. I mean, Remington in Connecticut is a losing proposition.
Yeah. Captain Shark says can't sue them. I think this might be if they're able. I mean, look. At the end of the day, people are going to buy guns in America. People around the world are going to buy guns. If you could put it somewhere where the government or even people who want to get sue happy, especially now when, like, for example, Supreme Court.
Hank,
no
we're talking
pun
about
intended.
Navajo, not the Sioux. I'm sorry.
No pun intended here, but I think that we're in times when the Supreme Court won't even take up Second Amendment stuff. Right? So maybe this is a way that this company can actually go forward and build guns or whatever. I don't know, thinking outside the box.
Also, you got to remember that the Indians get preferential treatment and stuff too. They get special care.
Yeah.
Because
John Parsons says they have liability protection from the Sandy Hook suits, but
they get special care.
Yeah.
Who knows? Somebody may know somebody, and they may have had hey, we got money. You got a business for sale. Let's meet up. You never know.
Appalachian Gunrunner says it'd be awesome if they put it on tribal land and could help the people on reservations. No one realizes how bad they still have it. So there you go.
You can't put You can't put manufacturing in the middle of fucking nowhere. Sorry. It's very hard to do. It's very hard to do.
Yeah, those tribes people would have to be willing to start taking all the jobs of it.
And you're not going to get enough tribal people to work. Well, not say you couldn't get enough, but Remington's a big company. You know, we're talking. It's not. Not me.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see where this goes. If the Navajo Nation actually buys it, that'll still be interesting.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows?
I can tell you what part of what tribe I will be part of.
Yabangi?
The wait and see tribe.
The wait and see what?
The wait and see tribe. We're gonna wait and see.
Oh boy. Yeah, there's plenty more of those.
I don't even have kids yet.
I'm telling you, that's what I was saying. Dad jokes.
Don't even have kids yet.
Dad jokes on the way.
Prepared for it.
Dad jokes on the way. Let's see. Here's another thing that was in the news. We can get into this here. Let's see. We did the Supreme Court thing. De Blasio plans to cut NYPD budget by $1 billion. $1 billion.
Awesome.
As New York
I want
City
to see his city,
spike.
state, whatever. I want to see it collapse. I would love it.
Yeah.
Let them experiment. Don't bring the experimentation here to Florida.
Yeah. Mayor de Blasio said Monday that he's come up with a plan to cut or transfer $1 billion from the NYPD's $6 billion budget and would not guarantee the department's headcount won't shrink even as shootings surge across the city. And then it goes into this. If you want to read this, you can get deep into it. Okay, here's the headline to me. $6 billion for NYPD a year.
Some of that money's got to go to bail his daughter out of jail.
Wow. You also got to remember they have a lot of pensions and stuff like that too, and healthcare stuff. And...
Yeah. Let me just. I try not to go backwards in the comments, but Chris Bullis says proud member of the Slapaho tribe.
That was a good one too. That was a good one.
CB I think might have thrown that one up there first. That's probably the one you're looking for. You probably were looking for that one, Patrick, but you didn't really want to mess with Marley. Not after she made you tacos.
Oh no, I can't mess with that.
Yeah. So anyway, where were we? $6 billion, New York City. That's, you know what, New York City? You can, first of all, if you want, there's too many cops in New York City. I would actually agree with that.
I've never been there. I don't know. I can't.
There's a lot of cops out there, but never one there when you're getting mugged, beaten.
Yeah.
Or when somebody's stealing you. Like one time, my brother-in-law some guy was stealing his bicycle, and they just basically didn't show up.
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that. So.
I've got lots of stories. And by the way, I have friends that are cops in New York City. But lots of stories. I think... So... Go ahead, Walt.
I just don't want to see innocent people taken advantage of, and that's what will happen.
That's what's going to happen.
And people minding their own business, like what's been going on in some of these places, riding the subway, not doing anything, and get attacked and everything else, and then nothing will get done. You can't shoot them legally because you're not supposed to have a gun. The bad guys will have a gun.
Well, this is what I was going to say. What about if New York City gives back the Second Amendment to people, gives them back their right to defend themselves in New York City, and then you could cut the budget all you want to. Instead of having all these cops there, how about, you give the people the rights to defend themselves?
I don't have a problem with it. Long as the mayor doesn't have a special detail, then it's good to go, man.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Now, he's got enough money; he'll buy his own detail. But
Yeah, this is the thing. So there was I'm trying to find the story. I put this up on my my Facebook page, and I know it's there, and I'll show you guys this real quick. Minneapolis council members who voted to abolish cops get private security. What?
I saw that. Does that surprise anybody?
What?
That's surprising.
Yeah. I think the thing to do, first of all, like I've said before, cops should be better vetted better trained, better, when better supervised, all that kind of stuff, better compensated for what they do. You don't need as many of them. You can have less of them and give people the rights of the Second Amendment in places like New York City. Let people defend themselves there, and you don't have to spend $6 billion. I don't think my local town spends $600,000, much less.
You don't have to. Well,
yeah,
okay. Let's just look at. You don't have to do that when you have a populace that isn't as violent as some major cities. So.
Yeah, but one of the reasons, I'm not saying it's the only reason, but one of the reasons is who's able to be armed in New York City. It's either if you're a police officer or criminals.
Cops.
Yeah.
Or criminals, basically. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
very rich, the police and criminals. That's it.
Let the people in New York City be able to defend themselves.
Well, I'm game. New York City was a very civilized place back in the old days when people had guns. I mean, they didn't have all these problems. They didn't have a police department that big either. So.
Yeah. So I think that's a part of the solution in a lot of things. An armed society is a polite society. You don't know who you're rolling up on. You might be rolling up on a rich lawyer couple in their rebuilt mansion.
Hey, they're willing to die for it.
You didn't think those mofos had an AR up in there, I guess.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah. So let's see. That's New York City. I don't know, man. There's no hope. $6 billion? $6 billion.
Well, they give away a lot of money too. So.
Wow, $6 billion.
Just because their budget is $6 million doesn't mean the $6 million go for the cops.
Billion.
Oh, I get you. I'm hearing you, man. Look at the taxes in New York City.
Yeah.
They tax you for everything in New York City.
Yeah.
So, I don't know why anybody lives there.
I think it's only really for the super wealthy.
No, unfortunately it is.
So at this point, not even Trump wants to live there, but they pretty much chased him out.
Well, he was a hero before he was a president, and now he's a dreg. So
yeah,
he's a deplorable now. So
yeah. Black Sword Shinobi says defund the ATF.
I wish.
Yeah.
Totally
If you want to start defunding, you want to save some money. There's about probably 500 government agencies you can defund.
Just start listing off alphabet agencies.
Oh yeah, I mean.
ATF is a good place to start, though.
Department of Energy, ATF, Environmental Protection,
EPA. That's what I was going to say. EPA,
Homeland Security. Let's see here. The list goes on and on. So.
Yeah. Okay, you guys want to see some? We can't show guns here, obviously, but I have a nice scope. I can show off if you guys want to. You want to see?
I got knives.
You want to see my scope? Here we go.
I got mags.
I'll show you this.
What are these mags for,
Boom!
Walter?
This is a primary arms scope. Check it out there. This is going on the 50 upper that we have out there, guys. So this is basically the Silver Series from Primary Arms, the SLS-6, 3-18 by 50. Okay, front focal plane with the Athena. I'll show you guys it again with the Athena BPR mil reticle. So we're gonna use this on the SHTF 50 that we have. I just want to show this. Smells brand new. Damn. Look, check that out.
I can smell it from here.
Oh my god. So much awesomeness in this. Pretty cool reticle. We're gonna put this on there. We'll share this with you guys. Let's see here. I'll go to Babyface is ready. Let's see.
Magazines?
Oh,
I got one of these delivered from Walter.
Yep, that's a Colt one on the right.
Walter shipped
me,
me magazines?
and the left one's an AK mag.
What kind of AK?
Magpul.
What kind of round?
5.45.
That's it.
What else would you
it's
have?
It's like a test.
I know.
Yeah. Oh, Walter had extra magazines laying around. I didn't know that, Walt. You can send some.
Well, there is a nice, beautiful homemade Colt sitting right over here. That needed a nice, beautiful 30-round Hartford.
Here's the other two that I have. Can I tell a story about these magazines?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Last February at the military vehicle rally up in Mount Dora, somebody was selling some AR parts, and they were sitting on his table, and I didn't ask him right away what he wanted for them because I thought he maybe wanted too much. You never know. So finally I get around to ask him. I said, "What do you want for those 3 mags?" He goes, "What do you give me for them?" Now I usually hate that. "What do you give me for them?" thing, because it's like, okay, I'll give you something really low.
$12.
Yeah, well, well, funny you mentioned that. So I said, he goes, and then finally he goes, how about $12 for all 3? I said, yeah. I said, fuck it, I'll give it.
Done.
Yeah, I'm out of here. Boom.
So
Don't think about it. Just do it.
I mean, even if they weren't Colt marked mags, I don't care for that price. I'll buy AR mags all.
Yeah.
This is like an insurance policy for one day. A retirement fund, maybe, I don't know, depending if Joe Biden gets elected. These could be $50 magazines overnight. You never know. I probably still wouldn't sell them because that's the way
not selling them. It's going in the Colt that's next to me.
Well,
the Colt.
It's one of those things. I'd rather have it if I need it versus having a $50 bill. So.
Yeah, this was all just about getting a Colt in the Colt, basically.
That's it.
Yep, getting a Colt in the Colt.
The range says Colt magazines are hard to get, No, or no,
I think you can buy them new. They're just, I mean, for $3 a piece or $4 a piece, that's hard to get.
That's like, I've never, well, these are in decent shape too. They're just mainly got wear from rubbing against each other, but not from being used so much. But yeah, I mean, for a while I was collecting Colt 20 round mags, which are what you really should have in that gun. I have a whole ammo can full of those.
Oh, Jesus.
But back in the day, there was a time back in the 90s, like I was doing the gun shows, nobody really wanted those things.
Mm-hmm.
Who wants a 20-round magazine?
Yeah, when you can get a 30.
But the 20s, those old school ones are nice. They got the metal followers and everything.
Yep.
Swing.
I bought 2 of them when somebody sold them for like $8 a piece, and I just picked up 2 to have 2 back before I had an M16, and now I'm like, man, I should have picked up like 10.
All of them.
I know.
See, because retro's the thing now.
Yeah.
So
you get all the mags you can get when you have the opportunity.
Yeah, if you've got enough shekels and somebody's got a box of mags and it's not gonna, you still can make the car payment or the house payment, buy the mag.
Yep.
Let me see. Listen, I'm gonna throw up the page that this reticle was on, this Athena reticle, for you guys to take a look at it. I believe this is the right one. Yeah, it's the BPR mill reticle. I'll throw it up here from it's back ordered right now, but Lola, I think we still have a link, right? For Lola said
Babyface. Back in the day, like back in the 90s when I was doing the gun shows, I remember one time in Lakeland at the gun show, the show that was in January, which was the club show, a big show back then. Guys had boxes of M1 carbine mags, like 15-round M1 carbine mag, in the original World War II packaging, a whole box of them. It was like 100 magazines in a box, and I think it was like they wanted like, I don't know, $150 or $200 for that whole bag, sealed in the box. And I never bought one of those boxes of magazines because I got one on M1 carbine magazines. They're only.
How far back in the days was that? What was like $150?
Well, that was like in the 90s. That was early 90s.
Yeah.
So still $100 was $100, but. And when I was doing the gun shows, I was, I could have easily bought them, but I just didn't think I'd.
You didn't need $2.
Yeah, I was like, they'll be around forever, man.
They're always going to be here.
Yeah.
But the main thing is the fact that it's in the original World War II packaging. A connoisseur would never open that. He's like, oh my God, I can't open this.
I would shoot the hell out of them.
Oh, I'd pop it open just to smell the insides of the box.
Yep, all the grease.
In the apocalypse, man, I'm opening up the living daylights out of them.
Oh, in apocalypse, I shoot every fucking thing.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Not leaving anything behind.
We gotta make some squirrel soup. Well, get that bit. Boom. Well, there's some squirrels for you, Mama. Make some squirrel soup. Oh, what that chicken that was in front of your car? You posted on Instagram. You see what I said? Make that thing chicken soup.
Yeah, the rooster.
Yeah. I said, get out of the way.
That was from when I was the last time I went down to see Sam Andrews.
Oh, he's
and
good.
There was a rooster around. I guess it just hangs out in that area or something.
Just in your yard. It's yours.
Yeah, just run in the show or whatever. So I have a whole bunch of different things from that. Let's see here. Let me see what else. There was so much stuff here that let's see. Oh, Parler. So did you guys get up on the Parler app yet?
Signed up for it today.
I signed up for it. I've got to change my my name is Torquer of SVT, and I got to change that to something else.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Make it. You got to make it Safety Harbor Firearms or something.
I will.
I just did Babyface.
Yeah.
I did it real quick, and
So the one thing that I was messing up a little bit when I put this out there, it's Parler, P-A-L-E-R, not O-R. For anyone who is looking for that out there, this is what it looks like on the App Store, the Apple App Store. I guess it has the same symbol on Android if you're looking for it there. And I'm on there as Hank Strange for anyone who's looking. Let me see. I'll pull that up and show you guys. I'll show you guys.
Is that just a mobile device type thing, or is it available on the laptop?
They have it on web.
It's on web?
Okay, so
yeah.
I signed up for it on web today.
Okay.
Okay, because it's not like Instagram where you can't really do anything on your PC.
No, it's like Twitter. It's exactly like Twitter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Now,
go ahead.
Once you sign up though on your phone, you're good on your PC or your.
You log in with the same stuff.
Yeah. All right.
And it looks like, I'm not sure. I haven't dug into whether or not you could shoot video uniquely through it and all that kind of stuff yet, or how everything works on it. I'm on there. So Babyface, what's your name? Oh, you got Cookies.
Babyface P.
Babyface P.
Cookies. Oh,
Yeah.
Walter does. I was like,
Walter,
I ain't got
no, you don't have no
I
cookies.
ain't no cookies. These are homemade cookies too, by the way.
Yeah.
Babyface P.
Babyface P. I'll show you guys my thing. So here's mine. It's just Hank Strange, all one word. If you're looking for it, here, I'll search for Babyface P. We'll find him and I'll follow him. So if you guys are going up there and signing up for this, you can easily see I'll follow Babyface right there. You can easily find us on there if you're looking for it. If I know who it is, I'll follow you back. Or go in there and just put hashtag LOTLOW, which is Lifestyles of the Locked and Loaded.
Oh, okay.
LOTLOW, hashtag LOTLOW.
LOL.
LOL. Oh, LOTLAL. There you go. Okay,
all right.
That's how you do it. This Babyface's favorite thing. But we are on Parler if you guys are all looking, and I am posting stuff up there. So if you go up there and you sign up, you want me to follow you, just like send me a message or something through there and say, hey, Hank, this is so-and-so. Watch the podcast. If you put hashtag LOTLOW, I'll know who it is. So,
all right. When we were talking about magazines, Tyven posted, would you own 10 20-round or 5 60-round drums? Me, I'll take the drums and would be loaded, ready to go. I'm not prejudiced on magazines. I like them all.
Yeah,
so,
you like movies.
I've got some.
Tell me I'm wrong. Yeah. Tell me I'm wrong.
I can't say that. I can't say that.
Back in the day, the Chi-Coms made a 120-round drum mag. I got one.
Oh,
Nice.
By the way, Mr. Hank Strange, you see my text about that drum mag you got sitting there? Well, you got to have some fun with that.
Who has a drum mag sitting where?
You got a drum mag for a 1022 that needs to be used
to
pop some caps with.
I do too. I've got a 100-round drum mag.
Oh,
Babyface
knows the stuff that I don't even know.
I don't think he even knows. It's in your mag box. You know that big thing of mags that you don't even look at? There's a 110-round drummer in there.
Oh, okay.
I just happen to know where it's at too, by the way, which is shocking.
Oh boy, yeah, Babyface knows.
I want one of them. That's what it is. It's one of those GSGs.
I have one.
I want to get one.
I have one of those.
That's a no. I mean, I left it there. I'll come pick it up next weekend.
Oh right. No.
Oh yeah. Okay. He left his magazine there.
Yeah, I left it in the cottage. I'll pick it up this week.
Yeah. Okay.
I think this has never been used, by the way.
Yeah. So let's.
From what I hear, those GSGs were very.
It's still in the plastic. What is up with that?
Walter's
We're having
going.
like a dun dun dun.
Woo!
Dun, dun. Okay.
Have you ever used one of these?
It doesn't look like I have.
Yeah. Okay.
I have not.
Yeah.
Oh wait a minute! It is soiled. Yes, it is. It's got 1022 lead all over. I guess I shouldn't eat my cookies now.
Yeah, you need some D wipes.
I'll have to use some soap and butter. Yeah.
Oh, you can go old school if you want. You can go old school. Someone was asking me, by the way, everyone out there smash the thumbs up. Someone was asking a question. Let's see. There was someone asking some kind of question about that, about the Parler app. So,
who owns Parler? ECG44. I
Yeah.
don't want no damn Chatcom spy.
I think it's an American-based thing. There's lots of news about it out there. And listen, just sign up for stuff that I'm not just saying sign up for everything, but
Is a United States-based micro-blogging social media service launched in August 2018. Parler CEO John Motze promotes Parler as the platform that social media should have been when it was originated. So it's based in the States.
there you go. All right, very cool. And here's another question. Brick says, didn't Gunstreamer shut down? Yes, we did talk about that today because there's so much stuff. We talked about it a little bit on Wednesday with Diane Mueller. Yeah, Gunstreamer. And when is it shutting down? Is it the end of this month, right? Next couple of days, I think? Or is it already shut all the way down?
No.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate thing. I think, those guys are pretty much spending their own money over there and just didn't get enough support. I think someone asked me over the weekend, like, who's at fault? I would say everyone's at fault. I think there's some things they did wrong. We didn't support it enough. The industry, we're all at fault. Everybody's at fault here. The audience didn't look at it enough. It's everyone's fault.
I'm sure this whole COVID thing didn't help anything either.
Probably didn't help. But let's remember, these guys were really pouring. It's really expensive to do that. And they were pouring a lot of money into it. I haven't heard from them in a little while here. So they, that's just how it goes. I tried to reach out to them. They didn't respond to me. So they probably don't want to talk about it.
It's not probably a real happy time.
No. But I appreciate what they did. They did something good, and probably spent a fortune on it. So
yeah, they gave it a good try. I mean,
yes, yeah.
They're battling a super Goliath.
Yeah,
it's like taking on the universe.
Mm-hmm.
This is for anybody that doesn't live the tech world. This isn't uncommon for small tech companies. It's small tech companies come and go overnight. It's not uncommon. It just sucks when it's something you wanted to have working, but this is not.
I'm sure they wanted it to be successful. It's hurting them more than it's hurting us.
Oh no, I'm not. I'm not saying that. I'm sure they did. It's just this isn't uncommon.
Yeah, and maybe we'll see them pop up. I don't know. I know Full 30's out there doing its thing. Who knows? Maybe they'll go help the Full 30 guys. They had some good ideas and some good technology that I wish some other people had, but
it just takes a lot of do-re-mi.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
I mean, you're battling a giant that has lots of do-re-mi. So.
Billions.
And if I'm not mistaken, doesn't the giant also run a lot of the networks and
the back end?
The hardware part of it?
I think so.
Big huge ass servers and all that, so they can throttle you any way they want.
Yep.
So,
Yeah. I think it's just a tough deal, man. I feel bad for those guys, but I know they tried.
It might not be the last time we see them. Maybe could reappear. Who knows?
Yeah.
Again, that's how tech goes as well.
Yeah.
One closes, another opens, and then maybe their next try at it makes it. You never know.
Yeah. Let's see what happens with that. Real quick, what's this? Edward Andrews is showing. He says, here's my 3 to 18 by 50 primary arms on my Savage 6.5 Creedmoor or 6.5 Creedmoor. I'll just throw this in here real quick for Edward Andrews here before we get out. Boom, there he goes, looking magnificently awesome on there. I'm digging the scope mount. That's pretty cool. Yeah, man. That's tough news. Hopefully we'll hear from those guys. Hopefully they still go on to do good things and karma, helps them because they really try to do some stuff. But ultimately, it's a tough deal. Like Walter said, it's expensive. Like Patrick said, this happens a lot. Unfortunately,
it's just the way of the world.
Yeah. I can't imagine actually. So
no, I've never taken a risk like that. and failed. Like, I can't imagine the.
Well,
it
not only
sucks.
that, but taking on a giant. I mean, you're competing with a giant, so I don't know. It's hard to...
Yeah. If I could get them on, but I think like you guys said, I don't think they want to talk about this right now. So
yeah, you gotta let it.
Source.
just
Bit of a
make
sore
preparations, guys. If you're worried about, like, I have all my videos backed up to my own hard drives.
Yeah,
Make
me
preparations
too.
to do other things. I think there's alternatives out there. Patrick, I don't know if you've even spent any time looking into it, but I know there's alternatives out there. There's still Full 30. My understanding is that Full 30 is trying to come back. I heard a rumor that someone's got at least some money to run that thing for a little while there. So they're trying to make moves, but I'm not in communication with Full 30 all like that either. So I don't know what's going on. On my part, I'm just gonna keep trying to do my thing on YouTube and all this other communist social media, and doing stuff like Parler whenever things come up. I'm gonna try to get on there and prepare.
And your .com stuff and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah. I would say having your own .com now, if you're doing like what we're doing, is incredibly important. You're not going to find all my videos over there, but I could, if I had to, set up some way of putting at least my videos there. But the big reason why we do it is because if we have to switch out to somewhere else, you guys have one place that you can easily go to. If you search Hank Strange, it'll show up, and we'll have links to it there. And I would say try to do that and try to deal with what's going on. And just be prepared, because I think that this is not going to get any better from here. They're going to come after us.
It's going to get crazier as the year gets longer. So
yeah, absolutely. So be prepared.
Oh, it's not over. None of this is over.
I think when we get towards the election, man, it's going to be something else. It's going to be something else. Just be prepared, man. I think 2020 right now is a psycho check, man.
Well, if you haven't adjusted by now to 2020, you ain't gonna adjust.
Yeah, 2020 is that chick your mama warned you about. Yeah.
Nutty bitch. Yeah.
Yeah. So just be prepared for it. Listen, this week we're doing today and we're doing tomorrow. I'm not sure whether or not these guys will come back tomorrow, but we're doing a short week very soon here. We're moving into like 4th of July weekend, and there's a whole bunch of stuff. Lola has some things going on and all that. So we're doing a short week. We'll be back tomorrow. With these guys. Let me go to Babyface. How can the people keep up with you, Babyface, and all your shenanigans?
YouTube.com/babyfaceP or Instagram. It's baby_faceP. New video every Monday. Today we had a video about the Marlin Model 38 that we rehabbed a bit of. Next week we'll continue with the AK as long as I get some time this week to actually work on it.
Yes, and please support him on Patreon. He's on Patreon.
Yeah, if you want to. You don't feel like you have to, but it's always nice.
I'm saying you have to.
You got to now.
He's not saying it. But go on there and support him. He's actually putting a lot of work into this stuff, so, help him out if you can. Okay, Walter.
Yes, Captain.
How can the people...
How can I serve you, sir?
How can no beignets for you? No soup for you.
I'm out of here then. Fuck
no
that. I'm out of here. I don't get no beignets. I'm out of here.
How can where can the people find your stuff, Walter? Keep up with you.
Well, right now I did sign up for the Parler thing, but there's nothing up there, so don't go over there unless you just want to go over there and like my page and be up. But anyways, safetyhourfirearms.com. You can go to Safety Hour Firearms on YouTube and Instagram, and where else? Oh hell, I don't know. My brain just went blank. Dirtfoot Racing's also over on Instagram and on Facebook. Yeah, Safety Hour Firearms over on Facebook too. That's a couple of them.
Yeah, and you guys are making stocks. You guys are turning out the stocks, right?
Yeah,
stocks got made
machines
today.
Things are going. Parts are being made. I can't make them fast enough, but stay tuned. We're working on that. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so do go over to these guys' Parler and at least follow them on there. I've noticed more activity from the other alternative sites, guys. So I've noticed that there's more people on there looking at whatever I'm posting, more so than like we're on Minds and we're on some other alternative things like Tumblr and all that. So we'll see what happens with this. No one knows. No one knows.
Yeah,
like
on the
Patrick
Parler
said.
thing. On the Parler thing, I'm Tokarev SVT. Like
For
the
now.
rifle. For now, yeah. I'm going to change that probably tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll change it, and then we'll try to post stuff up on there. Okay, we'll see. Go ahead.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Let me roll in the end here. Make sure you subscribe to the channel here. Ring the bell so you can be notified. Of course, every time we go live with the videos. Also, this goes up on audio on iTunes and other places that you get your audio. Thanks to Walther Arms for sponsoring us. Thanks to Babyface P, Walter Keller of SHF, all of you folks out here. You know, be good, take care of each other. Who wants the final word?
See you guys later.
Be civil.
Be civil. There you go. All right, we're out. Peace.